It gets worse. It gets way worse than vegetable Jesus, dude. You got crab Jesus. You got shrimp Jesus. And of course you have another shrimp Jesus. Amen, amen, amen. Who is this for? It's on like a legitimate Facebook account. This account has 117,000 followers. Who is meant to appreciate this image? Christian shrimp? Hey man, shrimps gotta get to heaven too. How else can they be saved from their shellfishness? I'm convinced that there was not a human running this account at all. I think this account was conceived of, created, and is currently run by an AI. There was never a human involved. And not only that, I'm also starting to suspect that the comments are also bots. There is no other explanation for the amount of engagement on these pictures, and like serious engagement. And also all the comments are like saying the same things, and they're all very generic. So it feels very bot-like. So if that is true, then technology has created a corner of the internet where an AI is interacting with another AI, and they both think the other one is a human. Does that not just feel wrong? Like, I kind of feel like a third wheel just being on this page. Learning that AIs interact with other AIs without humans watching at all feels like learning that, like, ghosts hunt other ghosts. Thought they were here to scare us. What the hell? And of course, the caption of Shrimp Jesus is, made it with my own hands. Do me a favor and destroy it with your own hands. How about that? Can you unmake it, please? Another popular thing for them to add into these images seems to be flight attendants. There is a lot of flight attendant-centric AI-generated images, oftentimes with Jesus as well. And I'm assuming that whatever this account started off posting was more tame than this, like it kind of made sense. The caption is beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson. So I don't know if it had something to do with Scarlett Johansson on a flight or something, and then the AI just kept changing the prompt over and over until it was this. Here's another one with the exact same caption. I like that a good amount of the comments on this one say good luck. Good luck, amen. Good luck, amen, ma'am. I have no fucking clue what's going on here, but good luck or congrats? I don't know, man. It's crazy how much these accounts post. If I just scroll through here, you can see these accounts post literally hundreds, if not thousands of times a day. Just post after post of nonsensical images. What is this? What is this supposed to be? And it's like, why? Do they make money from this? I've scrolled a lot through these types of pages, and I've never seen like a sponsored post or anything. So it's not like they're doing ads for companies using the following that they've built with these pages. Because like, who would the ads even be targeted to? Christian shrimp? After doing some research, I found this video that this guy made called Make Money Posting AI Art on Facebook Using Free Tools, where he basically explains that you can sign up for Facebook's monetization program, and basically you get paid kind of like on YouTube based on how many views your image gets, and I think on Facebook it has something to do with how many likes. So some of these accounts might be making bank.
Most people think that clickbait is some shady, taboo, weird kind of topic, when in fact, all it is trying to get a click.
Yeah, guys, clickbait is not necessarily a bad thing, just as long as you're honest about what you're delivering. Anyway, let's go ahead and learn how to trick people into believing that fake images are real.
Utilizing good images, ad headlines, and articles to drive people to relevant content that actually does talk about what the image or ad said in the first place.
Yeah, but if the image is not real, then doesn't that make it impossible to deliver on the promise? Now, this guy does go on to say later in the video that you should make it clear when things are AI or not real. But after finding a bunch of these accounts, it doesn't seem like anyone using this method actually does that. I haven't seen one single image that has been like, by the way, this is AI and not real, so just saying now. Tricked ya. Here's a different Facebook group that posts like beautiful mansions that all seem like they're AI generated. No disclosure anywhere that these images aren't real. Like being in a coffee mug. Love it. Huh. Yeah, there is something about this image that just looks like being in a coffee mug. Very insightful. Thank you. Either way, if this keeps up and this type of AI content invades all the other parts of the internet, it is just going to become completely unusable. I think Facebook and like every other social media platform needs to start training an AI that can detect AI generated content. so that it can like put a badge over all of these images to be like, hey, these aren't real, just, you know. Because so many people are so keen to try to use this to make money or create content for them that, like, just imagine in a few years if every single tweet or TikTok is created by ChatGPT or Midjourney. That sounds like a nightmare. Also, AI uses images and videos on the internet to train itself. So if like most of the images and videos on the internet become AI generated, and a lot of them look as bad as the ones that we've seen, isn't the AI just gonna get worse and worse? If it thinks that that's what real life looks like, what is its bad replication of that gonna look like? After I watched that one video, I started looking through a bunch of other videos on how to make money using AI, and there's a bunch of other ones that I think people should know about. This dude's video is called I Got AI to Create My Facebook Ads in 10 Minutes. The first few ways that he shows are pretty tame. It's just like using AI to create product photos using an existing product that already exists. The AI is just being used to enhance the photo, like change the background. But this next one is crazy.
We'll drop our product URL in here, type in our target audience, which is females aged 18 to 45, and then we can hit next. And then it generated 2 ad copy examples that we can use.
So he just gave this service the product description that he's trying to advertise. It came up with a script for him, and now it's going to use AI to have this random woman lip sync the AI generated dialogue.
Spa day, meet the mocktail wash, my intimate savior and relaxation partner.
I don't know who this woman is. I assume that she must have like licensed her likeness to this service. I hope she did. But even still, I feel like you have to be super careful as an actor if you're gonna be licensing your likeness to a service like this, because you could end up advertising anything, and that's kind of terrifying. Okay, here's another tutorial about a similar method.
Today, I'm going to show you how to make ads like this or this completely with AI, and what I'm about to show you is scary.
It's crazy to acknowledge how scary a tool is, but then your first thought is like, well, how can I make money off of this? Top 10 scariest ways to make money. Number 1, fake AI ads. Let me go ahead and show you how to make them. What you're gonna want to do is go to this website, and then click on new project. So he shows this ad for his website that sells licorice, which has got to be like the most whimsical business idea I've ever heard of. But he reveals after the ad is done playing that like half of the people in this ad were AI, or at least like the video was real, but their lips were AI and the dialogue was AI.
Some of the creators in this ad are AI.
Hey, entrepreneurs, have you ever wondered why testimonials like this work so well? How, like, it's because people assume that the people on their screen are real people talking about a product that they genuinely enjoy, thus giving the product more credibility and maybe generating fake videos of fake people endorsing your product who have never experienced your product because computers cannot eat licorice is maybe a little bit unethical? I'm kind of starting to think that this guy doesn't care, and that he thinks that we're all dumb.
When we are speaking to people on the newsfeed, they are in their dumbest, most stupidest, dumbest state.
Don't worry if you feel bad lying to people, guys. They're actually really dumb, so it's okay. Obviously, clickbait and scams and fake product testimonials have always existed and will always exist. It just sucks that it seems like it's becoming so much more accessible and a whole new generation of business owners are choosing to adopt the practice. AI is a really broad term, and in most cases it's a tool, and I've seen like artists use AI as a tool to improve their workflow, not just like using it to type in a prompt and use the result as an end product, but like use it like you would use any other tool in Photoshop. So if it's making artists' lives easier, I think that's one thing, but to use it to trick people or create the most bland or disturbing content I've ever seen on Facebook is super disappointing. And I'll be the first person to admit, like, it is cool that this technology exists. It's cool that computers can even generate such realistic, albeit horrifying images in the first place. But can we not just pause for a second to think about how doing stuff like this is gonna make nobody trust anything anymore? Or at the very least, the entire internet is just gonna become unusable because it's just gonna be bots interacting with other bots. Can someone make a movie like the movie Her, but it's actually just 2 robots falling in love and they both think that they're falling in love with a human? That's gonna be big with this new internet, dude. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my subscribers, so if you're not Gregged up, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and absolutely obliterate the notification bell. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg? If you've seen my video about the Disney Channel original movie Zombies, then you know I have some deeply troubling feelings about that movie. It's a very poorly made, weird, cobbled together metaphor for racism. And on top of that, a lot of the lore surrounding the zombies doesn't make any sense. So I ended up walking away from that movie feeling like I had so many unanswered questions, which is why when I found out there are 2 more movies in this franchise, I was honestly thrilled. I could actually get some answers to my questions. They'll dive into the lore a little bit deeper. Then I watched the movie and realized that was a very dumb assumption to make. This movie does not answer any of the questions that you might have had about the first movie. In fact, it introduces a whole bunch of new lore that is even more confusing and also kind of contradicts with the lore from the first movie. Now, all of that might lead you to believe that this movie is gonna be really bad, like even worse than the first movie. But honestly, this movie is not that bad. Also, it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, so technically speaking, this is a perfect film. So strap in and get ready, because I don't know if you've ever seen a technically perfect film before, but this is what one looks like. The movie starts off right away, changing the lore that we all know.
Welcome back to Seabrook, where belonging is everything.
It wasn't always this way. There was a time when we had to protect ourselves.
Right, we all remember that. In the first movie, you explained how the power plant blew up, zombies invaded the whole town and started killing and eating people. How could we forget?
Legend has it that when the first settlers came to Seabrook, they found wild beasts with sharp claws lurking in the forest.
Wait, so these beasts are different beasts? These are a different sect of beasts?
Which sparked an epic battle.
There was a war?
Seabrook settlers bravely fought off the monstrous attack and discovered a powerful energy source.
And that mysterious power source basically powered the entire town until that one fateful day when it blew up and created beasts. Different beasts. These are different beasts than the beasts we just saw. This is a very beast-heavy town.
The beasts were a distant memory.
Seabrook forgot monsters could be real.
So, hold on. You guys didn't think to mention this during the first movie? How could you tell us a history of Seabrook and neglect to mention the battle with mythical creatures that transpired? What else are you hiding from us? And what about this mysterious power source that runs the entire city? Don't you think during the 200 years since this happened, someone should have looked into this, made it a non-mysterious power source? They were like, we'll call this beautiful land Seabrook. We'll build a school to teach our young, a hospital to treat our ill, and a power plant that might blow up. We do not know. Because of the events of the last movie, now all the zombies are allowed to commingle with the humans. It seems like things are really on the up and up.
It's hard to believe there was a time when people were afraid of zombies.
Crazy thing to say for someone who has for sure eaten his neighbors. Also, we saw what you did to people in the last movie, dude. It's not hard to believe at all. I'm still scared of you. Then we check in on Addison, who you may remember from the first movie by her platinum blonde hair that for some reason in this universe makes her some kind of sick, disgusting freak.
That's Cheer Captain Bucky, my cousin. My cousin.
It's here at Cheer Camp we learned 2 things. First, that story about the werewolves is kind of a legend, and no one's really sure if it's true or not.
You've all heard the stories of bloodthirsty monsters who roam these woods, feasting on innocent cheerleaders.
And 2, the younger cheerleaders and the older cheerleaders are not getting along.
This week, the veterans and the newbies will compete for the Cheer Camp Cup.
I feel like one of those things is gonna have a bigger impact on the plot.
Watch and learn, Snowball. Ah, yes, my hair. Still white, still well-conditioned, and still drawing fire from the AC.
Okay, thank God she addressed it, dude. I know we were all thinking, what the fuck is wrong with her? You should shave your head, you look insane. We then get a song about how well everybody's getting along now. The cheerleaders are having fun at cheer camp, zombies are entering all facets of normal human life. Zed's dad has even been hired as the project manager to demolish the old power plant, which I'm sure will have little to no consequence in this story. The message of the song is undermined a little bit when the cheer captain Bucky
My cousin.
launches an underclassman into the air with a high-powered water bazooka called the Buckzooka. Just a little bit of playful hazing, I guess, for the underclassmen. Oh, you want to be a cheerleader? How about some internal bleeding? That's hazing, baby. Nobody joins an organization that I've already joined and gets away with it. And while I do wish someone would rush this poor girl to the hospital, I do have to admit, the song does slap. The music in the first movie sucked in my opinion, but the production quality of not just the music, honestly, but the whole movie is way better in this one. Probably as a result of the success of the first movie. The first one was very popular. So they were like, look, this next movie, you know, it's not gonna make any sense, but it's gonna look fantastic. The lighting on that girl as she flies through the air with 12 broken ribs is gonna be so good.
I wish that I could call. I hope you get my letters.
Addison is hoping that Zed will write to her while she's at cheer camp. They have a bit of a love connection going on, as you'll remember from the first movie, but Addison never will get those letters because the older cheerleaders are shredding them and turning them into pom-poms for the underclassmen to use. Addison, I hate to say it, I don't think these cheerleaders are teaming up to make progress with you. I think they're conspiring to ruin your life. On the way home from cheer camp, love is in the air. Cheerleaders are asking each other to prawn.
Yes! I got invited to prawn!
Which is Seabrook's version of prom. Their mascot is like a shrimp or something, so I guess that's why it's called that. And for the first time this year, zombies are allowed to go to prawn. Bree is actually hoping that Bonzo will ask her to prawn.
Getting invited to prawn sounds great, but Bonzo won't even look at me.
Meanwhile, Bonzo was locked in on her, carving her face into a threatening-looking apple. And Addison gets a surprise of her very own because Zed has devised a very intricate way of asking her to be his date.
Addison, will you?
Zed!
Uh-oh! Zed's not supposed to be there! He's supposed to be floating over there.
Zed!
Addison, help! I'm gonna fucking die! Addison! The bus crashes into a gated forest called the Forbidden Forest. And Addison goes running off to find Zed, but what she ends up finding are werewolves.
We're surrounded by werewolves.
So here's where the movie started to lose me a little bit, and I know this is a perfect film, so this is probably something wrong with me, but I feel like when I look at these werewolves, they're not werewolves. They're just teenagers living in the woods wearing dead animals. You might be thinking, okay, these are people who are gonna become werewolves at some point. No, these are what the werewolves look like. They even go out of their way to show a full moon in one of the shots to be like, no, this is as werewolf as they're gonna get. These are outdoor teens with dead animals on. That's what werewolves are. And that's just how it is for the entire movie. And on one hand, I guess I understand because like true to form werewolves would probably be super expensive to do and make look good. But also, you guys didn't have to make a movie about werewolves. That was your choice. You already had a whole universe with zombies in it. You didn't have to add another creature. Or, you could have kept the movie exactly the same as it is and just not called them werewolves. You could have made up a new creature. Just called them outdoor teens. It would have made sense. But no, you had to drag werewolves into this. You said this movie will be about werewolves. It will be an integral part of the story. And our costume budget will be $4. A few scenes later, a werewolf sneaks into the town of Seabrook and finds a drawing of like an actual werewolf that Zed's little sister drew, and he takes it back to the other werewolves and they all start making fun of it.
Looks nothing like us, Wyatt.
It's like they're trying to gaslight us. Werewolves don't look like this. Werewolves never looked like this. You'd have to be some kind of dumb, uneducated zombie child to think that us wolf people bear any resemblance to those half wolf, half people. After word gets out that Addison had this encounter with the outdoor teens, the whole town is a mess.
Dad, everything is fine.
It's not fine. There are werewolves circling us right now, waiting to attack.
They jump to the conclusion that the werewolves want to attack them so bad. Addison leaves the interaction totally unscathed. They didn't do anything to her, but the whole town, even the zombies, are like, ooh, the werewolves want to kill us so bad. We better kill them first. And eat them. Typical zombies. So the leaders of the town decide to reinstate all emergency monster laws.
All anti-monster laws are reinstated.
This sets up one of the big conflicts in the movie because, as you know, Addison wants to go to prawn with Zed, but one of these anti-monster laws is that zombies aren't allowed to go to prawn anymore.
Zombies can't go to prawn.
And when I say one of them, I firmly believe that is the only emergency monster law. It's the only one they talk about in this entire movie. They let so much else slide in this movie, but that's the one thing they're like, no, we cannot have zombies at prom this year. Ouch. You'll see in a bit why that's so strange, but right now we gotta go check in with the werewolves because they're setting up a conflict of their own.
And you know we don't have much time. Our necklaces are almost out of power.
So the werewolves all wear this stone around their neck. It's called Moonstone, and it's sort of what gives them their power. I guess it's like some kind of mysterious power source or something. But it turns out that like 200 years ago, somebody or some group of people stole all of the Moonstone from them. So their reserves are running low and they're all gonna like die because they don't have their Moonstone. But some of the werewolves think that Addison fulfills a prophecy that the werewolves have about some white-haired lady who's gonna lead them to more Moonstone. This is the kind of lore that gets you a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Even if the girl is the great alpha.
A girl? The great alpha? I'll believe it when I see it.
Even if the girl is the great alpha, how do we find her?
I found this in the woods. It's hers.
We'll track her down with our keen sense of smell.
It says Seabrook High on it, so I thought we might just look there.
Kinda seems like they will use any excuse not to show the werewolves do anything werewolfy in this movie. All right, we've gotta find this girl. How would werewolves accomplish such a task? We could use our wolf noses. What? No, what is wrong with you? No! We could ask around? Yes! Also, for those of you wondering, yes, that is baby Ariel from Musical.ly. She used to be like the most followed person on Musical.ly. I always wondered what happened to her. Guess she lives in the woods now.
We find the girl, and if she's the great alpha, she'll tell us where the Moonstone is hidden.
We go in the morning.
We go tonight.
That's right. They're not gonna wait around. They have to go tonight. So they march out of the Forbidden Forest, down the streets, and into Seabrook High, singing about how they own the night. Then they open up a vent and crawl into it, and they wait until morning. So kind of seems like they didn't really need to go at night, did they? They all file into the vent so dejectedly. They're like, maybe we should have researched what this place is. I guess we don't know what a school is. They're not here at night. Imagine they accidentally went on like the last day of school before summer. A janitor finally comes in after 80 long days and finds 20 dead werewolves in a vent. That day at school, Bucky and Zed both decide to run for class president. Zed because he wants to reallow monsters to go to prom, and Bucky, I don't know, he probably wants to like divert more of the school's funding towards an unmanned drone for the cheerleading team. But then, suddenly,
I will make Seabrook a place that embraces zombies and werewolves.
What? Where? Oh, there? What a lucky guess. How can you tell? People peering in through glass doors? Yep. Those teens live outdoors.
Man. Willa. We can't go to war with the whole town. We'll never find the Moonstone if they're on high alert.
Yeah, dog, I think that ship has sailed. You guys just charged them growling and gnashing your teeth. I think they're on high alert. Hey, all that stuff we did back there, that was we were just messing around. We're just a bunch of friendly teens. Don't look at her. Do not look at her.
Sorry. We werewolves so admire your town, and we just came here to join your school.
Okay, well, that's obviously not allowed. You guys were about to kill them, and also the emergency monster laws are in effect, and there's definitely one forbidding such things.
Technically, the Forbidden Forest is within the school district.
What?
So welcome to Seabrook.
What? Wow, guys. The emergency monster laws are working great. No, you did so good. You did such a good job. They were so close to killing you, and they only stopped because they found out Bonzo's not allowed to prawn, so good rule. So just like that, the werewolves enroll at Seabrook High. And wait a minute, all of the werewolves look the same age. Are they all teenagers? Or are some of them like 80 years old? Are some of them babies? And how does that work in dog years? Are they going to classes? I don't even know if they know how to write. They're not gonna be able to find the Moonstone. They're gonna be too busy failing all their classes. So Zed is worried about losing the class president election to Bucky, so he decides to go over the new untapped voter base, the werewolves.
Werewolves of the swing vote. Hello, wolves. I'm Zed.
Do it like the zombies do.
Yeah, for some reason I feel like the werewolves aren't gonna care who becomes the class president. They don't know what a president is. They don't know what school is. They live in the woods and they wear Moonstone, dude. You have no fucking clue.
Come on, we've got moves to bust.
Throughout this whole movie, Addison has her own thing going on too, where she just feels like she doesn't belong anywhere. That's right, despite being a bleach blonde cheerleader at a Disney Channel high school who was literally elected captain of the cheerleading team in this movie, she just doesn't fit in.
I don't feel like I belong anywhere.
Which makes her that much more susceptible when the werewolves come a-knocking. The werewolves are starting to get desperate, and given that they think that Addison is the great alpha, which again, she could not be, they bring her back to their cave and ask her for help.
I believe you're the great alpha. I believe you're a werewolf.
That's it. That's why she doesn't fit in. That's why she has ugly hair. It's because she's a different species. It finally makes sense. So they do a little dance, they do a little wardrobe change, and now she's a werewolf. Damn, that was a fast costume change. Did she know they were gonna rip her clothes off down there? This seems terrifying if she didn't. The rest of the gang gets worried when they realize Addison is gone with the zombies, so Zed shows up and he just fucking kills one of them. Holy shit, dude. And we never see that guy again. I think he's dead.
The explosion came from Seabrook Power.
Seabrook Power is the birthplace of zombies.
A little lime soda mixed with some mysterious energy, and then bam! Zombies.
Nice story, but it doesn't concern us.
Nice story about you and your unknown electricity fuel, but we've got our own problem. We're looking for a mysterious power source.
But it does concern you, Willa. That could be your moonstone, right?
Oh, shit, she's right. So for the rest of the movie, Addison is like pretending to be a werewolf. She shows up to school the next day and she's like, I'm a werewolf. I've always been a werewolf and I've always known I was a werewolf.
Addison, if you ever expect to be cheer captain...
Well, maybe I don't.
Maybe I'm not meant to be cheer captain. Maybe I'm meant to be eating gerbils. What do werewolves do? I actually don't know what they do. I know I am one, I just don't know what we do. Then we get the presidential debate between Zed and Bucky, and this is how all presidential debates should go.
I'm a real human. There's no danger in that. They're real monsters. Man. What if they turn back?
There should be singing. There should be choreography. One of the sides should be claiming that the other is a dangerous beast. And President Biden, how would you respond to that claim? He wants to eat me! He's trying to fucking eat me! The demolition of the power plant is imminent, so the werewolves rush there to stop the mayor from destroying all their moonstone. Via song? It does not go very well.
Arrest them!
Oh my god, dude, he said arrest them, not gas them.
Colloidal silver. That'll tame those beasts.
You know, for a government that just found out werewolves exist, they sure seem to have the exact chemical compound that would hurt them most. Colloidal silver shuts down their nervous system instantly. Just a hunch. Then Addison and the cheerleaders show up, and then Zed and the zombie show up, and now they're all singing, trying to convince the mayor to shut this thing down. Okay, at this point in the song, they're just having fun with it, man. They're just splashing around. I don't even think they're trying to convince the mayor anymore. He's not even in that part of the power plant. He's just standing alone in the main entrance now. You can hear music just vaguely echoing through the plant. Okay, I get it. I think I figured it out like 20 minutes ago, guys. Okay, so I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is they decide not to blow up the power plant.
Stop the detonation.
The bad news is the demolition guy accidentally does it anyway.
Well, shut it off.
I can't.
And also, Addison finds out she's actually not a werewolf.
Am I?
Bree's like, I don't know. They sort of just look like regular people to me. You look like a teenager who lives outside.
She's not a werewolf.
Oh, that's so embarrassing, dude. We all saw you act like a werewolf. You dressed up like one and everything, dude. No! Don't worry, this movie does end with them finding a way to access the moonstone underground. They transport it to Prawn, and then they dance all night in the iridescent glow of this mysterious power source that is surely exposing them all to a dangerous dose of radiation. And then at the very end of the movie, they hint at another sequel, which seems to have something to do with aliens.
Weird.
And that is Zombies 2. And now it's time to talk about our sponsor. This video has been sponsored by... Guys, it's the season of giving gathering, and with HelloFresh, it can be the season of saving. You can actually save money this holiday season with fresh, delicious recipes delivered straight to your door. It's cheaper than takeout, it's easier than grocery shopping, and the meals turn out so good. I like HelloFresh because I'm not really much of a chef. Okay, I don't really know how to cook well, but every time I cook HelloFresh, it ends up turning out great. Last night we had these Tex-Mex enchiladas. Didn't take too long to prepare. Turned out great. Honestly, best homemade enchiladas I've ever had, and I was the one who made them at home. I've got a lot going on. I've got a baby. I've got family visiting. It's a busy time of year. So sometimes it can feel impossible to get a good, nutritious homemade meal in, but not with HelloFresh. Can I let you in on a little secret? Some of their meals only take 15 minutes to prepare. How is that possible? Must be Santa. And guess what? HelloFresh is actually more than just dinners. They've got breakfast, they've got lunches, they've got snacks. So you can start skipping the grocery store for a variety of meals. HelloFresh is making life so much easier. So if you want to check out HelloFresh and for free breakfast for life, visit the link in the description or scan this QR code. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That is free breakfast for life with HelloFresh at my link. Again, this QR code. Don't use a different QR code, it won't work. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. All right, thank you guys for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We are the fastest growing army on YouTube. Do not look that up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg? I've wanted to make a video about the High School Musical movies ever since I started making videos about DCOMs almost 5 years ago. More so as just an excuse to go back and watch them, because when I was a kid, I really liked these movies. And if you're a millennial, chances are you did too. And you were also too scared to admit that to any of your friends. I don't know why as an 11-year-old I felt the need to pretend that I didn't like a movie that was, you know, made for 11-year-olds. As if all my friends were gonna be like, High School Musical? I don't know, man. Sounds a little immature to me. I only watch war footage. I'm a very violent young man. Either way, something I did not realize as a kid is how low budget these movies were. The first movie was made on a budget of $4.2 million, which might sound like a lot, but Zombies 3, which is a newer DCOM, cost $40 million to make. In Zombies' defense, though, they needed the money. Those werewolf costumes looked pretty expensive. High School Musical was shot in just a couple of weeks at a real high school using real students as extras. In fact, they were so strapped for cash, they couldn't even afford a real title. Apparently, High School Musical was just the working title for the script, and they were like, we'll come up with a better one eventually, and then they didn't. I'm very excited to see if these movies hold up to my jaded adult eyes. So let's start with the first one. Let me introduce you to the two main characters of this movie, Troy and Gabriella. They don't know each other yet, but they're both on vacation with their respective families at a ski resort on New Year's Eve. And right away, this movie shows you everything you need to know about these characters in like 2 minutes. Gabriella is nerd girl. She doesn't want to go to the teen party because she's busy reading a book. Meanwhile, Troy's dad is the most stereotypical Disney dad to ever grace the screen. Not only is Mr. Bolton Troy's dad, he's also the coach of Troy's high school basketball team. So instead of getting ready for the parties, he's making Troy run drills in the hotel gym.
Am I going left? Yeah. He looks middle, you take it downtown.
Well, Troy, it's New Year's Eve. You know what that means. That's right, Dad. I might finally get my first kid. Fake right! Take the ball downtown! Troy's mom comes to get them for the party, and Troy asks if he can have one more basket with all of the confidence and swagger of a real high school jock.
Come on, one more.
One more? Just one more basket, please. Troy shows up to the teen party and is immediately yawning his face off. All right, hell yeah. This is clearly a popular jock who knows how to party. Somehow, despite being the two most bored people at the party, the Spotlight chooses Troy and Gabriella to sing karaoke. But to the Spotlight operator's credit, they actually do crush it. They both get up there and they're nervous at first, but then all of a sudden, Troy's voice, it's like it changes almost, actually. It's like his voice changes from his voice to like a professional singer's voice. Because that is what happens, actually.
Living in my own world. Now who'd have ever thought that
I think this might be like the most well-known High School Musical trivia, but for the vast majority of the first High School Musical movie, it's not Zac Efron's voice singing. He had a voice double. His name is Drew Seeley, and he never appears on screen in the movies. He also apparently didn't even realize how big of a movie High School Musical was, and forgot that he had done the vocals for the movie until it came on the TV while he was working a shift at P.F. Chang's. Apparently, he tried to convince his coworkers that it was really him singing in the movie, and no one believed him. It's kind of funny because the whole point of the movie is kind of like, hey, basketball guys can sing too if they wanna. But not this basketball guy. Actually, you don't want to hear this basketball guy's voice. So they crush the song, they're dancing around on stage together. It's like they were born to perform. But for me personally, Little Viking Boy really steals the show. You guys know Little Viking Boy, right?
The start of something new.
He's basically the star of the movie. Look at him back there. He's leaving it all on the dance floor, man. Whoa, sorry, I almost fell backwards. It's just... He actually is getting a little bit too into this. This guy's locking eyes with me like we've been madly in love for years. And why did his voice suddenly get so much more theatrical?
I guess I better go find my mom and wish her a Happy New Year.
This is so romantic. I should say something romantic. I gotta go find my mom. And then she vanishes. And he never sees her again. That's right, you thought the movie was gonna be about Troy and Gabriella? Nah. No, the rest of this movie is about Troy and Viking Boy. Flash forward, Troy returns to his high school, East High, where he is seemingly a god amongst men. And then, actually, I don't remember this scene. Yeah, I don't know what happens here at all. Looks like the teacher is about to maybe give some kind of speech about today's sponsor? This video is sponsored by the Pokemon Company International. And they've sponsored this video because they want me to share some very exciting news with you. A Pokemon Day celebration is taking place in Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket right now. There's a new themed booster pack, Triumphant Light. And players can receive 3 booster packs for free just by logging in. And these booster packs, mind you, are guaranteed to contain at least 1 card of 4 diamond rarity or higher. By completing special missions, you can also obtain a unique display board, as well as Space-Time Smackdown packs, 500 trade tokens, 12-pack hourglasses, 24 Wonder Hourglasses, 24 Trade Hourglasses. Not to mention, at the end of March, ranked matches are coming to the game. So get your favorite decks ready and get ready to battle, baby. Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket is a free-to-start game, available right now for download on iOS or Android. So go to this link or click the link in the description to join now. Log in, have some fun, and enjoy the Pokemon Day celebration. And now back to Troy. But unbeknownst to him, there's a new student at East High.
I reviewed your impressive transcripts. I expect your light will shine very brightly here at East High.
I don't want to be the school's freaky genius girl again.
Freaky genius girl? What did you do at your last school? Troy notices that Gabriella is sitting in the back of their drama class, and not to be nitpicky, but this drama class scene lasts for 2 minutes, but the class happens in real time from start to finish in that 2 minutes. The bell rings. They sit down, the whole class gets detention, and then the bell rings again and they leave. How long is a school day at East High? Is it like 15 minutes? Troy shows Gabriella around, they catch up a little bit, and it is revealed that East High is having auditions for their winter musical pretty soon. Troy jokes that Gabriella should sign up because, you know, they sang together. And Gabriella's response is basically, fuck no.
I'll be signing up for anything for a while.
Yeah, I don't know why. I remembered this movie differently. I thought they both wanted to do the musical. Troy seems to maybe want to do it, and Gabriella's like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I don't sing. I'm not a freaky genius girl, and I'm definitely not a freaky singer girl.
So, dude, you know that school musical thing? Troy, the music in those shows isn't hip-hop, okay, or rock. It's like show music.
Yeah, and you guys would never do anything like sing show music, right? And then cut to them singing the hardest show music in this entire movie. That's the funny thing about this movie. Since it's a movie about a musical, there are several characters in this movie that are opposed to musicals. So it is a little jarring to see those characters seemingly completely unaware that they are literally singing and dancing right now. But on the other hand, I guess it would also be weird if they didn't sing when everyone else was. At the end, when they're all singing, we're all in this together, Corbin Blue's just standing around like... This is lame. There's 2 parts in the song though where Troy like stops rapping to sing from the heart about how he wants to do the musical.
She makes this feel so right. And should I go for it?
What do you mean she makes this feel so right? And should I go for it? Gabriella doesn't want to do the musical. It was your idea, and she said no. Don't drag her into this. This girl's making me crazy. No, you're crazy. You already were, and then you met a girl. That's what happened. Also, Zac Efron is 5'8", and presumably so is everybody else on this basketball team, because they're all like the same height. So how good exactly are they at basketball? Okay, now you got Sharpay, who's played by Ashley Tisdale. She's like the head of the theater department at school. She's the theater kid. And her brother Ryan is the theater kid in boy form. They are getting a little bit worried that Troy and Gabriella might audition for the musical. Again, Gabriella has showed zero interest in doing the musical. So they decide to do a little bit of research on Gabriella. So they search her name on the internet and they find out she's this freaky genius girl that she said she was. She's won all of these awards. She's won scholastic competitions and the like. But also, what is the third result there? Gabriella, San Diego Zoo's newest... What? What is Gabriella at the San Diego Zoo? Ryan's like, oh, that's interesting. Look, it says here she's a dolphin. That's funny. Now that I think about it, I can't believe I never noticed. After basketball practice, it's time for Troy to go home and relax. Just kidding. It's time for more basketball. Come on, Troy. Fake left. Take the ball downtown.
Did you ever think about trying something new, but we're afraid of what your friends might think?
I mean, like going left? You're doing fine. Come on.
Troy's dad has one thing in his mind, and it is one basketball just bouncing around like the DVD logo. I want to see a movie about him and how hard his life must be. I do like that this movie keeps the tradition alive of Disney Channel movie characters being inexplicably rich. His dad is a high school basketball coach and they live in a mansion. What does the mom do? She an arms dealer? Also, he says something new, like going left.
I mean, like going left?
When in Get You Ahead in the Game, Troy clearly says coach said to fake right and break left. He already said to do that. That's not new. That's what he already does. So... found a plot hole. Next, Troy sneaks away from his friends to go audition for the musical. I guess the voices in his head that he thinks are Gabriella got too strong, and he now has to act on them. He's gone! Wow! Where'd he go? Pay no attention to the fact that as he turns the corner, he probably fully saw Troy like... Meanwhile, Troy's dad is just standing there like, huh, that's weird. Could have sworn I saw basketball. Now, when we see the auditions, it becomes immediately clear that while Ryan and Sharpay are basically made out to be the villains of this movie because they're so overprotective of their theater department, they are completely in the right to do so. Not because their audition is really good, which it actually is, but because everyone else's is so bad.
It's hard to believe
that I couldn't sneeze.
It seems that no one else in this entire school can even sing. It seems like they actually don't even have a concept of what music is. So like, yeah, I would actually be hoping I got the lead too. It is funny how they all act like they can't sing, and then anytime there's like an actual musical number as part of the movie, every member of the student body sings their heart out like the Renters do. What's going on there? So Troy shows up to audition, and then Gabriella shows up too. I guess, turns out she actually did want to audition. I don't know. I don't know if Troy threatened her or what, but she shows up. But they are too late to the actual audition, so they don't get to audition in time, but they stick around afterwards and just sing an audition anyway. And Miss Darbus, the director, hears them and decides, you know what, you guys get a call back. Understandably so. She's working with a very small talent pool. Here comes two people who know what a song is. She's got to hold on to that.
After school, before school, whatever works. After basketball class, we can get this right. I'm so...
What? Now this is interesting. Troy is looking at his sheet music like he's never seen it before in his life, despite having just sung the song perfectly after only glancing at the sheet music briefly. He also says, what?
So what?
To almost imply he has no clue how the sheet music got into his hands or how he got a callback. Does he not know that he just sang? Anytime there's a musical number in this movie, do they just black out and come to like, I don't know what happened. We definitely didn't sing though, I don't know how. If you're my age, it might have felt like this movie was written just for you when it came out. And in a sense, it kind of was. The writer, Peter Barsacchini, who was mostly known for writing rated R action movies at the time, started writing the script because he wanted to make a movie he could watch with his daughter, Gabriella.
I thought it would be really fun to write a Disney Channel movie that my daughter could watch.
Yes, he did name the main character after her, and that kind of melts my heart. She was 10 in 2004 when he started writing it, And so was I. The story was actually inspired by his own high school experience, when one of his basketball teammates confided in him about his love for ballet. Decades later, Peter thought, wow, that's actually the perfect plot for a kid's movie. Boys are more than just jocks. They can do other stuff. They can do ballet. No, actually, that's too far. They could do the musical, but only if it's because they want to sing with a girl. Anyway, it's time for another song about how basketball players shouldn't sing, sung by, you guessed it, the basketball players. Status Quo is actually such a fantastic song. It features several students who decide that, hey, since Troy and Gabriella are breaking out of their stereotypical roles in this school, so can I. Zeke, the basketball player, decides to let everyone know, hey, not only do I play basketball, I also bake.
I bake.
This nerdy girl loves hip hop, this stoner skater guy likes to play the cello, and everyone in this school fucking hates it. We're skaters, bro. We don't play the cello. We only skate and smoke weed. And of course we sing. Now, of course, this movie is very self-aware about this contradiction, and I love it for that, but it does not make sense. At the beginning of this song, Zeke says, I want to make a creme brulee someday, and then at the end of the song, he actually has a creme brulee. So he presumably baked this creme brulee at some point during the song. It cuts to him sprinting down the hallway to the kitchen. You can hear everyone else singing, echoing in the background. He's like, they don't believe me. They don't believe I can bake. I gotta show them. So Gabriella shows up, and everyone is, of course, staring at her, because they were all just singing about her. They're staring at her, they're pissed, and they kill her. They kill Gabriella.
At my other schools, I was the freaky math girl.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Gabriella, but you're a freak here too. Everyone at this school thinks you're a freak now also. The entire student body, I don't know if you heard, they actually just sang an entire song about it. Now you're the freaky singing girl.
So you really want to do the callbacks?
Just call me Freaky Callback Boy.
You're a cool guy, Troy.
Thanks. I said call me Freaky Callback Boy.
I'm sorry, this is a closed practice.
Dad, come on, practice is over.
Until the last player leaves the gym.
I'll see you later, Troy. Nice meeting you, Coach Bolton.
There's a lot of tension here. Like, Mr. Bolton actually hates Gabriella. He hates this 15-year-old girl with all his might. Like, you will never be a basketball. Get out of my son's life. We know the truth! Go back to the zoo, you dolphin!
Dad, she's not a problem. She's just a girl.
But you're not just a guy, Troy.
You're not just a guy, Troy. You're Freaky Callback Boy.
Call me Freaky Callback Boy.
You're a playmaker. Not a singer, right?
Did you ever think maybe I could be both?
The look on his face is like, damn, I really never did think of that. Because this whole singing thing is getting in the way of Troy's basketball responsibilities, his team decides to get together with Gabriella's friends to try to break the two apart. The plan consists of getting Troy to badmouth Gabriella by listing the names of basketball players who went to their high school 20 years ago.
Spider Bill Natrine. Class of 72. Sammy Slamma Jam.
And you want to know the crazy thing? It works.
I've always been for the team. She's just someone I met. All right, the singing thing is nothing.
We're supposed to believe he doesn't see them set up a webcam right in front of his face to record him shit-talking his girlfriend? They might as well be filming on like a giant hand-crank film camera. The kind where you gotta put a blanket over your head to even see the image. Troy 100% sees the camera and does not care who sees what he's saying.
The thunderclap. Gabriella is not important.
After this happens, Gabriella doesn't want to talk to Troy anymore, and this really hits Troy hard, as you can see here. The pain is manifesting itself in Troy physically here, as he can't even shoot a basket without experiencing immense physical trauma. Aren't basketball players supposed to be good under pressure? Especially the captain of the team. Seems like this whole movie we've seen nothing short of the psychological unraveling of Troy because he sang with a girl one time.
Hey, we just had another team meeting.
We just had another team meeting, man, and we just wanted to say we forgot about JJ Buckets Jenkins, class of 1984. Does that change your mind? So later, Troy sneaks up onto Gabriella's balcony. Again, huge house, no explanation, to try to win her back.
This could be the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember this part being so pitchy, but this actually is Zac Efron's voice.
Here with you.
Yeah, this is very uncomfortable. Can we get Drew Seeley in here, please?
Start of something new. It's a pairs audition.
Saying it's a pairs audition kind of implies like I would audition without you if I could. I guess Troy meant what he said earlier to the webcam. He really does not care about Gabriella. He just wants to be in the musical.
Gabriella is not important.
You might make the mistake like I did when I watched this as a kid of thinking this is kind of like a Romeo and Juliet story about Troy and Gabriella. And it is a Romeo and Juliet story, but Gabriella is not Juliet. Juliet is just the musical.
How you feeling?
Nervous?
Yeah, me too. Wish I could suit up and play alongside you.
Yeah, no shit.
What I want is for you to have fun. I know all about the pressure, and probably too much of it has come from me.
I can't help but feel like all that screaming at you and making you play basketball until your hands bleed has had some kind of negative effect on you. But all I want in life is for you to be happy. While playing basketball, I am still demanding that.
Thanks, Coach. Dad.
Let's stick with Coach unless you win, all right? Sharpay and Ryan try to throw another wrench into Troy and Gabriella's plans of attending the callbacks for the musical by getting the callbacks changed to the exact same time as not only Troy's championship basketball game, but also Gabriella's decathlon tournament. So the gang has to create a diversion. That way they can make all three events. So Gabriella and her genius friends first hack the school's power grid to turn off the lights at the basketball game. Then they create a chemical reaction at the decathlon so everyone has to evacuate. And you know what? I get why everyone called her a freaky genius girl at her last school. I think she deserved it. She's like, oh, we can use a chemical reaction. I did this at my last school. We just have to make sure we don't make it as strong this time. That way not as many people die. Not as many. So Troy and Gabriella get to do their callback, Breaking Free, classic song. And look, the whole school shows up. Even the opposing basketball team is there. They crush the audition, Troy heads back to the basketball game, and they win that too, and then they all sing the big closing number of the movie, We're All in This Together. Wow, I guess they all learned a valuable lesson, except, hang on, Sharpay, you did not learn a lesson. Get out of this song. Don't sing and dance with them like you learned a valuable lesson. Get out. If Gabriella dropped dead right now, you would dance on her grave. And that's High School Musical 1. Many people lovingly remember Little Viking Boy from the first High School Musical movie. And while he rocketed to stardom in the wake of the first movie, his troubled life and fall from grace has been the subject of many concerned Twitter threads in the 19 years since. Do you know why I pulled you over today, sir? Huh? I said, do you know why I pulled you over? You're all over the road. Huh? All right, you want to play tough, asshole? That's fine. Huh? All right, step out of the vehicle, take off that helmet.
No, I can't take this off. It's a birth defect. It's part of my body.
Are you drunk?
I don't know, huh? Let's think about that. Does crack get you drunk? Let's think about that for a second. Let's all think. Does crack get you drunk?
After 15 DUIs and 3 counts of kidnapping exotic animals, Little Viking Boy was sentenced to life in prison. Authorities claim that it's here he became head of an extremist religious cult. His followers helped him escape in 2023, and his current whereabouts are unknown. Although he does occasionally post to Instagram to frantically proclaim the end is near or post a brand deal.
Every morning I wake up and I drink 6 bangs.
High School Musical premiered to 7.7 million viewers, a record that has only been broken a handful of times in the nearly 20 years since. But one of my favorite things to come out of the success of this movie, which I totally forgot about until I was making this video, was the live concert. I forgot about this until I went to the library to check out the DVDs for the 3 movies, and they happened to have a DVD of the recording of High School Musical in concert. This feels pretty unusual even to this day for a Disney Channel movie to put together a live touring concert featuring the actual cast of the movie, selling out arenas with audiences in the tens of thousands around the world. But it wasn't the whole cast, actually. Zac Efron couldn't be there because he had a commitment. He was filming Hairspray at the time. So who did they get to fill in for him?
Living in my own world, didn't understand.
It's Drew Seeley! Drew Seeley! I'm sure they advertised the fact that Zach wasn't going to be there and Drew would be in his place, but I have to imagine every concert, there were like 1 or 2 kids that were like, what the fuck? Zach looks different in person. With all the success of the first movie, they had to crank out a sequel fast, which they did, releasing High School Musical 2 in August of 2007. And you might think it would be impossible for them to catch lightning in a bottle twice, but oh baby did they. What time is it? Sequel time. High School Musical 2 is often regarded as the best High School Musical movie. Out of any High School Musical movie, this one has the most moments that have lived on in the cultural zeitgeist even today. The movie starts just as the school year is ending. The musical is long over, so if you were expecting to see the musical that they were just auditioning for in the first movie, get that out of your head right now. You're never gonna see that musical.
Summer to refresh and illuminate your fertile young mind.
One of the first things I noticed is that despite only a few months having passed from the events of the first movie, Troy looks drastically different. His hair is much darker. He has a different haircut so you can see his ears now. But most strikingly of all, his eyes have somehow become more blue.
You actually listening?
His eyes were already pretty blue in the first movie, but they're piercing in this film. It is scary. Get some contacts, you freak. The clock strikes 2:15 and the first banger of this movie commences. The class immediately erupts in celebration. They throw their papers in the air, start dancing around, and did Chad just kiss his teacher on the neck? Yeah, he just kissed Miss Darbus on the neck. That's too far. Luckily, it doesn't look like she cared. She's just vibing.
Good to be chilling out.
We finally get to hear Zac Efron actually sing in this song, and I hate to admit it, but he sounds pretty good. I'm sorry, Drew. Your services are no longer needed. He does end the song in a very strange manner, though. The song ends, there's silence, and then Troy breaks away from the group to slide on the floor and say, yeah! Why does he do that? Now, the trouble in this movie begins because Troy wants to make some extra cash this summer. His parents are making him pay for college, despite them clearly being very wealthy, taking vacations at ski resorts and living in a literal mansion.
But I gotta get hired first. Me too. I'm saving up for a car. So I can take that little hottie on a proper date.
You can't see it, but he's actually not talking about that girl in his grade. Miss Darbus is just standing right outside of frame.
T's and Troy?
Why? Yeah.
Why does he look so confused there? It's like it never occurred to him that T could be for Troy. He's like, oh, I actually thought it was a cross, but yeah, T for Troy. That's my name. Now that the school year's over and basketball season isn't starting back up again for months, it's time for, you guessed it, basketball practice. Fake right, Troy, fake left. Take the ball uptown for a fancy dinner.
Tell you what, seeing moves I didn't see last season. Keep it coming, guys.
This post-workout scene has a lot of gems, like Mr. Bolton's insanely long shorts. Dude is criminally insecure about his knees. Also, Troy about to drink from an entire gallon of milk from the fridge. And then he gets a phone call revealing that his ringtone is Get Your Head in the Game.
Uh-oh.
Is that a real song in this universe? So in the first movie, it seemed like Sharpay might have had a little crush on Troy, but in this movie, she's got a big crush on Troy. She's like, he's the most popular guy in school, and I think I'm the most popular girl in school. It's a match made in heaven. So she pulls some strings at her family's country club to get Troy a summer job there. The only catch is Troy requests to get like the entire school hired, and somehow that works. So Troy shows up with his entire basketball team. You got Chad there. Also, the nerdy girl who loves to hip-hop dance got a job there. You got Vanessa Hudgens' stunt double working there.
Mrs. Montez, it would seem your lunch break does not start for 3.5 minutes.
In order to keep the conflict of this movie moving along, they have to make it seem like their job is really demanding, but they also have to toe the line of not making it seem like these kids are being abused in some way, because they are just kids. So some of the insane demands that their job is asking of them is just like, hey, can you show up to work on time and make sure you clock out at the end of your shift? And the entire student body of East High is like, we're in prison! They're not gonna pay us until we provide a service? What kind of dystopian universe is this? Mr. Fulton is 100% correct to be strict, by the way. Several times throughout this movie, he catches them doing things they're very clearly not supposed to be doing. Like having a picnic on the golf course during the day while people are playing golf, or swimming in the pool after hours when there's no lifeguard present. And every time he's like, hey guys, could you not do this anymore? And Troy's just like, man, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
Suddenly, I'm beginning to miss detention with Miss Darbus.
Yeah, I bet you are, you freak.
How did we get from the top of the world to the bottom of the heap?
You guys, you've been working for 30 minutes. This is a job. This is just what jobs are.
I don't recall you mentioning the boss is such a creep.
Okay, wait, hold on, what did he... What did he do to you? Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. If he's actually a creep, I take back everything I said. So Sharpay didn't just have Troy hired. She actually has a whole plan to lure Troy in. Starting with getting her dad to pull some strings at the University of Albuquerque's basketball team to give Troy a chance at a scholarship.
So Troy, I saw your championship game. I mean, wow. That last second shot at the buzzer, outstanding.
If I was a basketball recruiter and I saw that championship game, I would be more concerned about the lights going out and then everybody leaving at the same time to watch the star basketball player audition for a musical and then come back and win the game like nothing happened. And then also how they all sang a song after that. That's what I would be concerned about. But yeah, I'm sure he played well too.
You know, between the two of us here, we pull a little weight over at the school.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I'm not really sure what prompts that reaction. They're like, you know, we could do a lot of great things for your future. We really want to help you, Troy. And he's like, I don't know. I'm getting the fuck out of here, guys. See ya. If that were Mr. Bolton there instead of Troy right now, he'd be barking like a dog.
Pay's dad let me play a few holes and then invited me to dinner with some U of A alumni.
Really?
Oh, wait, Troy's dad is fixing up a car. Look, he has other hobbies. Good for him. Granted, he is propping up the hood of the car with a basketball, and there's more basketball and hoops in the background. And I do kind of feel like if we could see what he's working on, there would just be 5 basketballs where the engine is supposed to be, but it's a step in the right direction. Troy's dad, surprisingly, is all for Troy going for the basketball scholarship.
Nothing wrong with keeping your eye on the prize.
And that's great. I totally agree with that. Troy should capitalize on these opportunities he's been given, but he should try to make his girlfriend and his friends a priority too. However, that is not what Troy does.
So it's all in the grip. You gotta hold it just right. Ooh, that looks great. Hey, I almost forgot. I ordered Swiss on my burger. So go ahead and check it out, man.
Hey, I almost forgot. Get back in the kitchen, you broke motherfucker, and get your money on.
Look at you. Go team.
Yeah, it's a gift from the guys.
Typical high school jock, always doing cool spin dance moves.
It's a gift from the guys.
I love sports.
It's a gift from the guys.
Look how much taller the actual basketball players are than Troy. I hate to say it, man, but he's gonna get crushed in college. He doesn't stand a chance. And not to mention, they definitely don't take singing breaks in the middle of practice. Next, we get the absolute classic I Don't Dance featuring, you guessed it, a lot of dancing. I don't dance. This song is great, but tell me why at the end of the song, Ryan and Chad are wearing each other's clothes. Because they don't ever address that. It's such a confusing part of the movie. Why did they change clothes? When did they get naked? So I was confused about this, so I actually went looking and I found an article where the 2 actors explained what happened. The outfit swap was actually suggested by director Kenny Ortega. Quote, he had the on-the-fly idea at the last minute, Blue said. We had already done 1 take of that scene and he did the usual thinking gesture and said, switch outfits. Bro was cooking. Bro was, you know, I don't know what he was cooking, but bro was cooking something.
Hey. Well, you missed out on a fun night.
But the dessert afterwards had to be the best part. Her mom makes the best brownies in the entire world.
Yeah, I know. I've had them.
I've had them. I've had her fucking brownies. I like that that was the thing that pissed him off. He was like, look, I can catch you romantically dancing with my girlfriend at sunset until the cows come home, but you touch her mom's fucking brownies? The most in your life stood you up at your wedding and doesn't want anything to do with you anymore. But you know what would make you feel better? A really big empty house. A house so big that it could be full of like some little kids running around or a little husband running around, but instead it's just big and empty. Does that make you feel better? Why not? Plus on top of that, with how like out of repair this house is, this just seems like a huge burden. I mean, I hope it'll be nice when it's done because it is pretty big, but like, this just seems like so much work. You know, it actually doesn't even look like it's in that much better condition than her original house. Well, sweetie, we know that you really miss your house because it burnt down and that was like the worst day of your life. So we wanted to make you feel better. So as a community, we all pitched in and raised enough money to buy you a second burnt down house. Go on, get in there. So by now the ad is about halfway done, and if you're wondering like, wait, what even is this game? I don't understand how this is an ad for the game, and what is going on? You're not alone. But luckily they take a pause from the story real quick to show us some actual gameplay from the game. And it's just like a home improvement game, like a gardening and fixer-uppy game. In fact, you might notice that it has kind of like a similar vibe to Lily's Garden, which I talked about like, I don't even know how long ago, like a year ago? A year and a half? If you don't remember, Lily's Garden were the absurdly inappropriate ads for a gardening game. They had all sorts of fun ads, like Lily's private time sitting on the washer, Lily pretending that she's pregnant so that her boyfriend will leave her. All sorts of wacky scenarios that they used to market this game that, as far as I could tell, was just about gardening. So hold the absolute F up, Merge Mansion, which is the name of this game. I don't know if I've said it yet. So hold up, Merge Mansion. You think you can just steal Lily's Garden's thing? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to allow this copycat behavior, okay? Sure, I didn't like Lily's Garden ads at the time, or even now. And they also tried to start beef with me by putting my little nutcracker guy in their commercials next to a dumpster. So really, I shouldn't be defending them at all. But you know what, Merge Mansion? Stop it. It's also just like so over the top for a game about just like home improvement. Is all of this context and backstory necessary? Would this be important to me if I downloaded the game? Would I use this information at all? So I've got an empty spot in my garden. I can either plant a tree or build a statue. Keeping in mind that my fiance did either die or stand me up on my wedding day, I think the choice is actually pretty clear. I'm going back to therapy. Okay, so then the ad takes a drastic turn. What the hell did Grandma do? Huh? It's not clear what they're arresting her for. And they never explain it either, so I'm not sure if it's just like another thing that you're just gonna have to accept you don't know the answer to, like what happened to her fiance and how did her house start on fire? Or maybe it has something to do with the fiance in the house. I don't know. Did she burn down the house? Did she burn down the fiance? I don't know. And there you go, that's the whole ad. He is alive. Oh, rats, Merge Mansion. Just when I think I figured out some of the context of this ad, you go and pull the rug right out from under me. What the fuck does that mean? So, who is alive, first of all? The fiance? I'm going to have to assume that's who they're talking about, which makes me think that I might have been right about them all thinking the fiance died? Is that why the wedding was canceled? And if so, how did they think that he died? How did they think that he died but never saw him be dead? Did he just not show up to the wedding and everyone was like, damn, he must be dead? That's the only reason a groom has never not showed up to a wedding, because he died. So, that sucks. Maybe at first they thought the fiance stood her up at the wedding, but then when she got home to where she and the fiance lived together, the house is burned down. So then they're like, oh shit, he didn't just stand her up. He stood life up. He stood up the rest of his life. Now that's all interesting enough, right? That was a very strange ad, I think we can all agree. But if you scroll down in this Twitter thread, apparently there are other endings to this ad. There are like slight alternate endings that apparently other people have seen. So here's one of them. Instead of saying he is alive, her hand says, I planned this. Which I feel like if we're talking about the whole like fiance fake death thing, like almost means the exact same thing. There's also an alternate ending that has her saying you're next on the hand. I mean, all sort of just alluding to the same fact that the grandma did something nefarious and that's why the fiance disappeared, or, you know, she did something wild and wacky and now she's going to jail. I can't wrap my head around why they made these alternate endings. Are they like targeting the different ads to different groups of people? Like this really small change will have a different appeal to different demographics? Okay, so we're thinking that You're Next will go to the Gen Zers. But for the older crowd, like the baby boomers, we're thinking I planned this on her hand. Because old people really like planning. After doing a little bit of detective work on YouTube, I was able to find like, I guess the production company or studio or something that makes these ads. Okay, so that ad is about having a threesome. Does the game, I just want to know, does the game have anything to do with these ads? This home improvement game? I can't imagine it does. Okay, so now I'm out in the garden and here's a bush. What do I want to do here? I can either water bush, cut bush, have sex with two people hiding in bush. It's interesting that this is like the studio that makes these ads because they have a little description. Merge Mansion, a hit game from Metacore, needed 3 different ads full of warmth, humor, and drama. Warmth, humor, and drama. The simple warmth of finding out your fiance died and that your house burnt down and that your grandma had something to do with it all. They wanted to make films that are distinctive, surprising, and interesting from the first second. Distinctive?
Try telling that to Lily's Garden, dude.
I'm actually in love with this Twitter thread though, because once this tweet started picking up traction and a bunch of people started seeing it, everybody started replying with weird ads that they've seen. And yeah, there's some weird ass ads out there. I haven't done this series in a while, and it turns out that developers have been going buck wild, dude. That's all I can say. Look at this. Wow. Dude, what a brutal kick. Oh my god. The sound effect and everything. I know that this is a common theme for all of these game ads, but I couldn't even wager a guess as to what this game is about. They're like stranded on an island, maybe? Like a desert island, but also this dude is like doing a little stripper pole dance for this girl. It's this fun new game where a group of people get stranded on a desert island and they have to start a new society, and instead of implementing money as currency, they implement pole dancing and lap dances, weirdly enough, as currency. And instead of jail, you just get punted. This next ad is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating. And there's no way you'll believe me unless I just play it, so here you go. Dude, what is this? Stinky fart dragon game? Dragonscapes.adventure. What the hell? What is this? The dragon farts once and the girl laughs and she's like, oh, you like that? You kind of like when I fart? And the girl's like, yeah, I guess it's kind of silly. It's kind of like funny in an immature type of way. And the dragon's like, oh, okay. Well, how about I fart so hard that I break your spine? You like my farts, huh? How about I fucking kill you? Wait, is this the same girl? Dude, it is! Wait, okay, so this ad had nothing to do with dragons, but this is clearly the same girl. She's got the same outfit and everything. Okay, maybe this game doesn't have anything to do with pole dancing or dragons. Is it just about punting this girl? Sending her flying? Okay, so the main object of this game is to wait until this girl's having a good time, see how she's dancing and having fun, or she like thinks that the dragon's fart is kind of funny. You wait until she's having fun, and then you just fucking send her. Oh, wait. In the very last frame, it looks like now she's on an island by herself. So is this like the backstory for how she gets stranded on Stripper Pole Island? She was just having a good time watching her dragon and then she got like farted onto a deserted island? Maybe I'm reading too much into this. Is this even a real game? Wow, that game looks pretty cringe. That game looks so weird. Who would download that? I mean, what do? You're in like colonial times and you form an army of dudes wearing only boxer briefs that can like form together into these sick big weapons, and then you like fight off these other armies? That's crazy. Crazy bad. That looks like a bad game. What is this game even called? Something dumb, probably. What is it? Guns of Glory? That's crazy, man. I would never want to even look at a game like that now that I know the name of it. Oh, look, this looks like one of those like episode type games, like a choose your adventure type thing. She says my fantasy ... and I guess you get to pick. Her two options are Spank Me Master or Spank My Ass Master. Is there a difference? Spank my ass, master. Now spank me, master. Anyways, guys, I think that's enough badads for now. Now it's time for a good ad. Thanks to our sponsor, Sleeper.
You guys, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Sleeper. Sleeper is a fantasy sports platform. It's an app that's available on the App Store and the Google Play Store, but it's not just any fantasy platform, it's the best fantasy platform for all of your fantasy football, basketball, and for gamers like me, it's even got esports. The reason I think Sleeper is the best fantasy platform out there is because they've got personality, dude. I mean, look at this app. It's got a sleek, modern design. It's got a beautiful UI, very clean, laid out just right. They've got all the features you're used to in fantasy apps and more. They've got social features like voice and text chat, which means leagues that use Sleeper have more fun. They chat more, they react to moves that happen all season long, and it all comes with 0 ads. If you don't have a group of friends to play with, that's fine because Sleeper just released a matchmaking feature that will help you find the league that's right for you. So if you and your friends want to take your fantasy sports league to the next level, then download Sleeper in the App Store or Google Play. The link will be in the description. Thank you to Sleeper for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Sleeper.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We're basically the fastest growing army on YouTube. Please do not look that up, but it is true. All right, well, thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day.
and I'll see you next time. Bye.
This video is over now.
Over now.
Go find something else to watch,
or just watch this video.
I know we had a lot of fun,
a lot of fun.
but you can't stay on this end screen forever.
No.
This video is over now.
Over now.
So why are you still watching this?
All right, I have two things to apologize for. One, this video is definitely gonna come out after Christmas, and two, sorry I look like such a freaking nerd right now, dude. These glasses. I have an ulcer on my eyeball. Merry Christmas to me. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. It's gonna get better in a few days. I just have to put these drops in my eyes like every 20, 30 seconds. I know this is gonna come out after Christmas because I'm recording this the day after Christmas. But to be fair, like, are modern Christmas movies even really about Christmas anymore? Old Christmas movies used to be like, you know, sweetie, this family is the best Christmas gift a guy could ever ask for. Why, I'm starting to think I won't kill myself after all. Whereas now, Christmas movies just feel like a hodgepodge of cliches that are vaguely related to Christmas. Every Christmas movie now is like, Christmas with the Stinks. What happens when Santa gets lost in a small town just 1 week before Christmas? He's gonna have to spend it with the Stinks.
Hey, come on in, we're the Stinks. We like to poop and shit.
Also, Santa is a secret agent. And he's got a gun.
I have a gun.
Starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as every role and filmed entirely in front of a green screen.
I have a gun.
Netflix presents Christmas with the Farts. Only on Hulu, July 7th. I mean, Netflix's like big Christmas movie they came out with last year didn't feel like a Christmas movie at all. It was a very confused movie about Santa being kidnapped by a witch who like sucks all of his powers up so she can imprison half of the population, which on its face does seem like it could be like a whimsical, fun Christmas movie. I just wish any of the people making the movie realized that, because they all just played it really serious and made it feel like a Marvel movie.
Hey, Fred. Got a 5'11" male grown-up hovering by the scented candles. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, we got a guy maybe stealing one candle. Can we get somebody to take him in the back and kick his ribs in? Also, Santa appears to have some kind of deal with the US military. They like escort him around with fighter jets. What does the US military get from this deal? Santa, are you making them bombs? I also feel like this movie does this thing that a lot of Christmas movies do now, where because Santa's whole operation is basically impossible, basically, not, you know, I still believe in Santa. They try to come up with lore that explains it and makes it seem more believable. So like in this movie, instead of Santa's village just being like a dozen elves helping him, it's like an entire city. It's a metropolis. Yeah. Now that actually makes it make less sense. It actually made more sense when it was just magic. Thank you though. Anyway, I don't really want to spend too long talking about that movie because it's pretty boring. And I also want to talk about the movies that I actually want to talk about. Dear Santa and A Very Jonas Christmas. Dear Santa also came out last year, and the premise, if you can believe it, is that a little boy writes a letter to Santa, but he is dyslexic, so he accidentally addresses it to Satan. And then Satan shows up. And it turns out he's the guy from the Minecraft movie. Yeah, very different kind of idea for a Christmas movie, but in their defense, at least they made him terrifying. Yeah, I don't know what kind of processing they did on Jack Black's face, but he looks very uncanny. I mean, he looks like a video game character. To the point where, like, he might be completely CGI. I don't know if Jack Black knows he's in this movie. And I think that this right here is what might have given me that eyeball ulcer.
Young kid writes a letter to Santa, but he misspells it and it goes to Satan. So Satan, played by Jack Black, shows up at Christmas time and comedy ensues.
Why did they put Jack Black in quotes?
Played by Jack Black.
Does Jack Black know he's in this movie? That's why Jack Black is in this movie that we made about Satan. On all accounts, this movie makes zero sense. I don't know why they made this. A child being haunted by the Lord of Darkness should be the plot of like a horror movie. Is he gonna be like his friend? Are they gonna hang out? Is this gonna be like Gooby but with an evil monster? They already made that movie. It's called Gooby. Now going into this movie for the first time, I knew two things about it. One, that Jack Black plays Satan. And two, that something happens at the end of this movie that is in very poor taste. I was very curious to see what that was, but as the movie progressed, I honestly had a hard time seeing how that could possibly be. I mean, after all, there's so much insane shit in this movie, how could there possibly just be one thing? So most of this movie revolves around Satan trying to get this little child Liam to fulfill a deal in which Liam gets 3 wishes, and Satan gets his soul for eternity, and Liam goes to, and excuse my language here,
hell. And in fact, he does eventually fulfill the deal, which leads to this very confusing montage.
What? Why so blue?
Why so blue? I just sold my soul to the devil.
I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble seeing why him selling his soul to Satan made him cool suddenly. Damn, look at that kid. He's so cool. What's his secret? I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. So, like, does that lead to the poor taste ending? Is it Liam's parents' marriage falling apart? Is it Liam trying to use Satan to get his crush to fall in love with him? Is it this kid's teeth? Is it him wishing Satan would resurrect his brother from the dead and it happening? Oh, yep, that's it. It's that.
We wanted to make sure that it didn't get too dark. It didn't become a horror movie or anything like that.
I don't know, guys. I think you made it too dark.
We wanted to tell a nice Christmas story.
Yep. It's nothing like Satan resurrecting a little boy from the dead to make you forget this movie had anything to do with Christmas. Also, like, a third of this movie revolves around Liam going to a Post Malone concert to impress his crush. And of course, Satan puts a spell over Post Malone to make him think that he's best friends with Liam. And when I was watching this, I was like, okay, so they must have just like repurposed all of this Post Malone concert footage from an actual Post Malone concert, right? Oh no. No, there's Liam dancing up on stage with him. Damn. They really threw a whole Post Malone concert for this weird ass movie. That's crazy.
And I wanted to bring up probably the most important man to my career and the inspiration for my music.
I am happy for Liam, but I'm concerned for Post Malone here. Bringing a 10-year-old on stage and being like, this little boy is my muse. He's everything to me. It's definitely gonna put a weird stain on his career. Everyone in the crowd is like, yo, this Liam dude sounds awesome. Post Malone has lost his mind, but this Liam kid can dance. Hey guys, it's me, Santa. I probably look a little bit different than you're used to, huh? Probably expecting a guy in a big red coat with a white beard, huh? Well, this is what I actually look like. All that stuff about rosy cheeks and a big white beard is all made up. Coca-Cola made that up in the 80s. I have always looked like this. Anyways, guys, I was just popping in here to thank SoFi for sponsoring this portion of the video. As we all know, one of the simplest and most powerful ways to build wealth is actually by earning interest on your money. Making your money work for you. Just like I make the goblins work for me. Like, that's right, the elves are another thing Coca-Cola made up. They're actually goblins, and sometimes I also hire ghosts. But here's the thing, when it comes to interest, most banks give you a tiny amount, like a fraction of a percent. But thanks to today's sponsor, SoFi, we're gonna change all that for you, all right? SoFi is a mobile-first finance company helping its members save, spend, borrow, and invest. When you open a SoFi checking and savings account and set up an eligible direct deposit, you earn a competitive APY, and there are no account fees. One thing I do want to make clear is I do still like milk and cookies, so if you're like, oh, this isn't the Santa I know, I'm not gonna leave out milk and cookies. That's the one thing I do like, but I like oatmeal raisin. I'm an oatmeal raisin guy. That means your money's not just sitting there, it's working. Every dollar you earn in interest can earn more dollars in interest. Over time, that's gonna really add up. You'll even get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. And you can access additional FDIC insurance up to $3 million on deposits through a seamless network of participating banks. For a limited time, when you open a new high-yield savings account, you can get up to a $300 cash bonus and a 0.7% boost on your savings APY with eligible direct deposit. Terms apply. So start putting your money to work like I put those geese to work pulling my sleigh through the air. That's right, reindeer can't fly. I use geese because they can fly. Head to SoFi.com/Danny, click the link in the description, or scan this QR code to learn more and get started. Thank you to SoFi for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out SoFi. Merry Christmas! I just laugh like that. Now, I got a lot of requests to talk about this Jonas Brothers Christmas movie, A Very Jonas Christmas. And the movie definitely lives up to the title. Almost this whole thing is about the Jonas Brothers. So this movie is about Nick, Joe, and Kevin having like one last concert in London before they have to fly home for Christmas with their families. But due to a series of goofy hijinks, they get stranded. And at one point in the trailer, it looks like they even get lost in the woods in Europe. When I watched the trailer, I was like, how the fuck are they gonna get lost in the woods? There are no airports there. So when I first heard about this movie, I was very excited to watch it. I think the only other movie I've ever seen these three brothers in is Camp Rock, and that movie was very easy to make fun of. And I don't really even think they've made many movies since Camp Rock. I mean, on Rotten Tomatoes, Nick's picture looks like it's from like 2013, Joe's 2015, and Kevin's 1978. Also, look at the poster for this movie. Is this about them trying to get home for Christmas or assailing a foreign dignitary to assassinate him? We got Nick in the car, Kevin in the train, and Joe is definitely gonna die up there. Oh yes, there's no doubt about it. This movie is gonna be pretty bad. Let's look at what it's got on IMDb. Oh, a 5.7. Okay, that's actually better than I would have thought. What about Rotten Tomatoes? 92? Wait, it looks like people actually really like this movie. And look at this dad on TikTok. He's losing his mind laughing. Did the Jonas Brothers make a good Christmas movie? On purpose? Okay, so I have watched the movie, and I will say it's better than I thought it was gonna be, but that doesn't mean that it's not insane, because it is still insane. For example, you're probably wondering how the Jonas Brothers got stranded in Europe in the first place. Like, obviously, most people have to deal with, like, holiday travel congestion, but the Jonas Brothers probably fly on, like, a private jet, right? They're not dealing with regular air traffic. Well, like I said, they just finished their tour. They're anxious to get home to their kids. It does kind of seem like their kids aren't really that anxious for them to get home.
I'm gonna be home tomorrow and I'm gonna take you skiing just like I promised. And she could care less.
That does kind of lower the stakes of the movie a little bit, that they're like, guys, what are we gonna do? We've gotta get home for Christmas. Our kids need us. And their kids are just like, nah, we're good, man. Don't worry about it. We have really healthy attachment, so we're not gonna fret too much about it. Don't do anything too drastic. How about we get lost in the woods and eaten by wolves? Well, Nick and Kevin are anxious to get home, actually. Joe is a little bit sad that tour is over because he's gonna miss his brothers, so he starts unknowingly venting to none other than Santa himself.
Nothing like Christmas to help a family rediscover its magic.
Except our Christmas plans are to get the hell away from each other, so.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Hold up. They want to get home for their kids on Christmas? No. Santa cannot allow that. Santa hates kids. So Joe walks away, and Santa is upset that the Jonas Brothers aren't going to be spending Christmas together. So he comes up with a brilliant plan. Nay, a perfect plan. Nay, a terrible plan to keep the Jonas Brothers together.
Christmas spirits, I've seen something tragic. These boys shan't get home till they rediscover their brotherly magic. Unless they decide to spend Christmas with each other, the spell will keep brother stuck with brother.
I mean, that's wild. Is that a thing that Santa does? He casts spells like a witch? Dang, maybe I take back what I said earlier. Hey, come on in, we're the Stinks. We like to poop and shit. No, not that. The thing about the magic. It actually made more sense when it was just magic. Thank you, though. Yeah, that. Don't worry, though. The consequences of his spell aren't anything too crazy. After all, Santa Claus works in subtle ways. Holy shit! Santa, did you check to make sure there weren't people on there? Let's have a moment of silence for all the people on that plane that involuntarily volunteered their lives for the greater good, helping the Jonas Brothers reconnect. I had no idea that when Santa worked his magic, there was so much like death and despair involved. That's crazy. Also, it's a little bit disturbing that I feel like the Santa in this movie has already done worse things than Satan did in that entire movie.
You're the uptight, responsible one. You're the lovable tramp, and I'm the relatable human cardboard. Forgettable Curly, the world's most unlikely rock star. Not Nick or Joe. The one that still lives in New Jersey.
Dang, they are really leaning into this ragging on Kevin thing in this movie. Like, damn, I know this is a thing people joke about. I know I've written a whole song about ghosting the guy, but you guys are his brothers, dude. Feels different when you do it. This movie is also a musical, which is kind of fun. A lot of the songs are very catchy, like Coming Home This Christmas. Unfortunately, music labels have been like very strict about copyrighted music on YouTube, so I can only show you like a tiny little snippet of it. Now, one thing that made it kind of tricky to write a video about this movie is that they do this very self-aware thing where anytime like a goofy plot detail comes up, they make a joke about it before you even get a chance to think it in your head. Wait, they're getting to the train station just barely before their train, but they're gonna stop to sing a song about it? That's kind of...
You think we have time for a song? Yeah!
Oh, they already... Okay. But isn't this whole plot just the plot of a bunch of Christmas movies?
Have you ever seen a Christmas movie? It's literally the entire plot of the film.
Damn, they're good. Who knew the secret to making a flawless movie is just pointing out all the flaws before anybody else has the chance? Honestly, it is a pretty good tactic if your sole goal with the movie was making it really hard for commentary YouTubers to make videos about it. But it does feel very defensive, and it also kind of gets old to in every scene be like, yo, this is kind of weird. What is going on here right now? What the hell, is that a camera? Also, there's a lot of parts in the movie that are actually genuinely funny, and they kind of ruin them by doing this like self-aware thing. Like this song that Nick sings from his musical Home Alone the Musical, where all the lyrics are just about how being home alone means that there's no people in the house. It's a very funny song. Also, I think that YouTube is claiming this one less, so I think I can show a little bit more of it. But even when the movie is actually funny, the writers still feel the need to be like, what the hell are these guys even talking about?
I can't believe the show only ran 3 weeks. I can.
I'm sorry, Joe. Nick is just being so random right now. I mean, what is this? Some kind of movie? On Disney Plus, perhaps? Another downfall of this movie is that it really hinges on you knowing a lot about the Jonas Brothers. I mean, they weren't kidding with that title, dude. This is a very Jonas Christmas. Ideally, they want you to know, like, details about the Jonas Brothers' personal lives that I just am not in tune with. So I felt like I kept missing references. Like, apparently Joe has a line of candles.
I know what you need. A calming chamomile candle. My new line, Glow by Joe.
Also, apparently Nick and Kevin are married with kids, and Joe is divorced? I didn't know that before I watched this movie. So every time they would vaguely reference it, I had no idea what they were talking about.
Got a few bad breakups under my belt as well.
I'm not sure what to do here. Like, do people pretend not to know literally everything about your personal life? Or like...
Yeah, it must suck for everybody to know that you have brothers? That's what we're talking about, right? You had 2 brothers and then you got divorced with one of them, so now you just got one, huh? I know so little about their personal lives that in my head, Joe just is his character from Camp Rock. So when I heard that he was divorced, I was like, damn, it didn't work out with Mitchie. You guys were so perfect for each other. So more wacky hijinks happened, and eventually they get picked up by Santa, who I gotta be honest is a very unorthodox Santa.
I live a very solitary life. My home is very remote, and my work is all-consuming.
Yeah, he's like lonely and burnt out. I guess maybe he doesn't have the elves in this version of Santa, and so he has to do it all himself. Maybe he makes every present via terrifying spell.
This lone wolf has always daydreamed about being part of a pack.
Would you mind pulling over? I just want to go check on my brothers.
Hey, would you mind pulling over? You're freaking me the fuck out. Eventually, they find a private jet to fly them home, but the pilot crashes the plane because he's taking sexy pictures of himself while flying. I like how the plane is in complete free fall and they don't seem to be affected by the G-force at all. We're going down! Everybody, brace for impact! Oh, fuck! There's this running plot line throughout the movie about how Kevin secretly wants to sing in a Jonas Brothers song, but they never let him and he's too scared to bring it up. But at the end of the movie, they make it home to their families and they're all singing and they finally let Kevin sing. It's a fun moment. It's great to finally hear him sing, and it's great that they're finally letting him. But then in real life, I just saw that Kevin just like released his own solo song. So it kind of seems like the opposite happened in real life. In the movie, they're like, yay, Kevin is singing. And in real life, they're like, you have to sing as far away from us as humanly possible, please. Honestly, though, all in all, this movie was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. I was laughing at parts. I even looked like that dad from that TikTok at a few parts, dude. I was sitting on the couch kicking my feet. I was giddy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hate to break it to you, but I don't know, this will probably be my last video of the year. Enjoy your New Year's celebrations, everybody. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to the Romance Channel, where we cover the hottest romance movies known to man. When you think of the perfect love story, what comes to mind? Passion, lust, destiny, brothers, psychological intimidation, gazebos. All of those? Yeah, all of them? Good. Because today we're talking about The Kissing Booth. I've had this movie recommended to me for a while, and I recently sat down to watch it, and I gotta say, guys, I'm pretty confused. This movie has a completely normal premise, and there's actually nothing wrong with it. It's not weird at all. Guys, don't we all have a best friend? And don't you and your best friend have a written, strict set of rules that you guys follow to maintain your friendship? And isn't one of them, don't fuck my brother? Do not have sex with my brother! Of course, so see, I don't know what the problem is.
Just don't end up grinding coochies with my brother, or I'll literally never talk to you again.
Grinding coochies? What the? Ugh. All right, you know what? Just for that, that's it. I am making the video. The Kissing Booth is a bad movie. This movie starts off with way too much exposition. Instead of a normal movie where you sort of naturally learn about the characters as the story progresses, the movie decides to just dump the main character Elle's entire life story on you in like 3 minutes. Okay, all right, okay. I think it's too much information, right? There's no way all of this information is necessary right at the beginning of the movie. It's not. It's almost all unnecessary information, actually. And by the time I finished watching this intro, I felt like I had already watched like 10 movies. I still have to watch another movie after this. I've watched like 3 people grow up from being a baby. Before the movie even starts, you watch Elle's mom slowly die in the hospital.
Sat with mom in the hospital, said goodbye to my mom.
Damn. Oh, hell yeah. Mom or motorcycle? I think we came out all right on that deal. Did we need to see the mom die? Did that have to happen? They barely reference it in the rest of the movie. Did they have to just rapid fire through that? I guess it gives you a reason in the movie, like right off the bat, to be rooting for Elle because you've seen her go through some hard times. I guess later on in the movie, if you ever start to feel like she's being an asshole, the movie can be like, hey, well, her mom died, all right? So take it easy with the judging, okay? Pretty much all you need to know from the intro of this movie is that Elle and Lee are best friends. You know because they pretty much have the same letters in their name. And Elle has a crush on Lee's older brother, Noah. Noah is established as being irrationally angry and violent in the intro as well, so what's not to love? Hey! Don't fuck my brother! So Elle is clearly infatuated with Noah right from the start. I think we can all see that. Lee can see that. So you might think, damn, they have just a few rules in their friendship and Elle is not able to follow them. What a jerk. And 1, you haven't even seen the half of it, dude. If you think this is bad, what do you think the rest of this movie's about? And 2, easy with the judging, dude, all right? Her mother passed away. I do find it interesting that the rule says, like, no dating either of our relatives. This rule was clearly made just to keep Elle away from Noah. Elle's only immediate family in this entire movie is her dad, who's like 50, and her brother, who was probably like 2 when they made these rules up. Her mother, I don't know if you know this, but she unfortunately did pass away, so she is not in the picture anymore. So did Lee propose this rule being like, hey, so, if you stay away from my brother, then I, a child, won't fuck your dad. Deal? One day while getting ready for school, Elle rips her pants and has to wear the only other option that the uniform allows, which is her skirt, which is a little bit too short for her comfort, and she ends up getting groped by a jock. Luckily, Noah, who we've established as being very violent, jumps in to beat the shit out of the jock. And this sets Elle and Noah's love story into motion.
No one should treat a girl like that. Especially if that girl's you.
Me?
Yeah, it's like those guys who are trying to get in my little sister's pants, which is super gross.
So Noah is the main love interest in this story, and they start out by establishing that Noah sees Elle as a little sister to him. Pretty interesting. And I do wonder how they're gonna get around that, if he is to be her love interest in this movie. So the reason this movie is called Kissing Booth is because Elle and Lee run the dance club at their school, which they never actually show, but I think it just consists of them going to the arcade and playing Dance Dance Revolution, which, if so, is a sick idea for a club. But their school is having a carnival, and their dance club has to come up with like a fundraiser to do at the carnival. Bing boo! Oh shit! I love how they both say it at the same time. That's such a specific suggestion. It's almost as if they've done this before, and they think of Kissing Booth as like the solution to every problem. Her mom was in the hospital earlier, and Elle's like, damn, if only we could heal my mom with some kind of Kissing Booth! The doctor's like, you two need to get the fuck out of here. Obviously, that was the first thing we tried. Before Elle and Noah can get together, though, we need to find a little bit more out about Noah. Like, who is this main love interest? We know that he's violent, which is awesome. But the movie also has to show us how manipulative he is. You see, it all starts with Elle exploring some other love options at school. For example, the man that groped her earlier. He calls her kiddo? Gross. Lock this man up immediately. You still got a lot to learn, kiddo. Like, for example, how fucking crazy I am. You have no idea. You have no fucking clue. But you're gonna learn today. I'm naked, baby. The Flynns are a very controlling family, aren't they? Like, in Elle's friendship with Lee, he's made all these rules that he has to follow. like don't fuck my brother, and now Noah has rules like don't fuck anybody else. It's an entire family where they're like, hey, who are you gonna fuck? Who is that? Who is that? Don't fuck him. Fuck me. No, don't fuck me. That's not allowed. So the kissing booth is coming up, but Elle is having a little bit of trouble getting people to volunteer to work at the kissing booth, obviously, because that sounds gross as hell.
Need peeps to work our kissing booth.
It seems like she started texting people that don't even go to her school. This guy? This like bald middle-aged man? Is that a teacher? Whoever he is, he thinks that it's hysterical that she would even ask. She's got Abraham Lincoln in here, Frida Kahlo. This girl has quite the contacts list. I do respect Abe for his honesty though, you know, I guess that is what he was known for. But I understand his reservations. He has not had good luck with booths in the past. After a few more uncomfortable scenes of Noah protecting Elle from herself, it's time for the kissing booth. Since they're short on volunteers, when it comes time to actually do the kissing booth, Elle ends up having to step up to the plate, and Noah, our sweet violent Noah, decides, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going in. The fuck did he come from? Was he just lurking beneath the sand to jump out?
Don't make me beg.
Ah, she said no! Leave her alone. Noah's a really confusing character in this movie because they kind of portray him as this like popular guy that gets all the girls. Whenever he's not talking to Elle, he's like making out with some other girl or like talking to the popular cheerleader girls or whatever. But he like, other than that, doesn't seem to have any friends or like a social group. The only time he interacts with the other guys in his grade is to threaten them, apparently. For this entire party, before this happens, they just show him kind of like lurking alone in a corner. The Hollywood sign at night. You guys ever been to the Hollywood sign at night? Great place to make out. Great place to get eaten by coyotes too. I feel like a lot of people don't realize the Hollywood sign's like in the middle of a nature preserve. I think there's like mountain lions and shit up there. A coyote comes out from behind the Hollywood sign and is like, fucking by the Hollywood sign again, huh, Noah? This man's got some game. All right, guys, get out of here. I'm gonna have to eat your asses. I love that his secret spot to come and be alone is the Hollywood sign. Yeah, don't worry. I know a little place where we can be alone. It's called Times Square. We'll have a little more privacy up there. From there, their relationship blossoms. They go on dates all over town. They're sneaking around, trying to make sure Lee doesn't catch them.
You expect me to believe that she just tripped?
From a human woman. Many women have tried and unfortunately met their demise.
He has an IQ of 170.
Yeah, no shit. We raised him using the latest technology. He's not just any regular iPad baby, okay? We use the newest iPad, so that makes him very smart.
And to be certain that he grows up to become president of the United States,
huh?
We must ask a specific request to any prospective stepmother. She cannot have any children of her own.
What?
Furthermore, in order for her to not become pregnant, she must agree to have her tubes tied before the marriage.
Saying we need to make certain implies that they're already like pretty sure that the son is gonna be president. They just need to make sure all their ducks are in a row, which I guess is fair. They have been using the coolest, latest doodads. They raised this kid in a self-driving Tesla, baby. What is this logic? Is every president an only child? I don't even follow what she's saying with this. Maybe she doesn't want Lisa's attention divided between multiple children, but this is just such a weird plot development. This has nothing to do with what's going on in the movie. How is a man trapped in a dog's body the least interesting thing that's happening in this movie right now? So obviously this date doesn't go well, so she ends up going on a date with Kyle, where Kyle comes over, tells Lisa that he's gay, but he still wants to get married because his family will disown him if he doesn't marry a woman, and he's very rich, so he can provide for her. All in all, Lisa is not having good luck with men, but this summer, she might have good luck with a fucking dog. What happens next in this movie is insane and very uncomfortable. After Kyle leaves, Lisa's just chilling, and her manager from the store comes in, very drunk, and tries to have his way with Lisa.
Lisa. Back off, she's mine!
Okay, dude, that's a pretty insane thing to say when a girl is getting assaulted, right?
You're fired!
I quit!
Now I'm the king of the castle.
This is such a weird moment to infuse like a comedic relief dog with the plot. This movie just got so dark, and the dog is like, guess I'm the only guy left around here now, huh? Guess I'm sort of king of the castle. Yeah, bro, I hate you. Ever thought about that? Ever thought about the fact that you suck ass so hard?
King of the castle! King of the castle that's also a dog and lives in a house that is green.
Why is he gay? Why is Kyle gay?
Sorry, that's what she's taking away from all this? Huh? Why is Kyle gay? Bro, there are more pressing issues right now. What is the writer of this movie doing? Anyway, she's completely broken down at this point. She ends up running outside into the rain, sitting down in the grass, crying with her dog, and she decides, you know what? That's it. No more men. Men are nothing but trouble. All I want is my dog.
From now on, no more men. I'm gonna stay with you. Only you. We'll live together forever.
Shebang!
I think that might be my favorite transition of all time. As a dog, he yells, shebang! So you'd think that as a human, he'd be standing there all proud of himself, maybe like, shebang! But he's just looking down at her with the blankest stare. Uh-oh. He doesn't look like he's got any thoughts behind those eyes. Maybe he was just a dog all along, and now he's a human with a dog brain. From here, the movie makes a super strange tonal shift from like a goofy comedy to like this really intense romance movie where they're in the rain. For some reason, Alvin, who now only goes by Prince for some reason, for the rest of the movie, they pretty much exclusively refer to him as Prince. He is not a goofy dog anymore. He's this like romantic man who's like, I just want to be your husband now. Let me love you. The guy who plays the human version of Prince isn't even the same guy that did the voice of the dog. And they act way different. He went from being like, hey, scratch my belly, babe. I'm trying to get laid. To like acting like Anakin Skywalker from Attack of the Clones.
I don't like Sam.
And I don't know about you guys, but I miss the old Prince. This one's probably not even horny all the time.
Don't be afraid. It's really me, your dog.
Don't be afraid. You have no reason to be afraid. It's me, your dog. If my dog did this, I would be fucking terrified. Hey, don't worry, it's me. The one who tries to hump your leg all the time, it's me. Don't worry, I'm a man. I'm a grown man now. And I still want to fuck your leg. So they're standing in the rain. Lisa is so confused that she passes out for like 3 seconds. She is not taking this well, but we do finally get an explanation as to why Prince was a dog.
In my past life, I was punished for being a cheating playboy. I was cursed to live as a dog.
Oh, so it's like a reincarnation thing. Finally, they explain this. At first, I thought that it was like in the same lifetime. Like he got cursed to be a dog in this lifetime. But no, it's a reincarnation thing. I am confused about the lore of the movie. Does that mean this could happen with any dog? Are all dogs like used to be people that fucked up in this life and now they're dogs? Or are some dogs maybe like a hamster that did really good in its life? Which I would imagine is probably a lot of hamsters. I feel like it's pretty hard to fuck up as a hamster. I wouldn't think there's much expectations of a hamster, really. It's all about expectations.
Let me be your husband.
God, thanks for answering my prayer. You're my husband.
What? Huh? Okay, so that's all it takes? She's like, yeah, I guess you were a pretty good dog who I met just weeks ago. Sure, you're my husband now. So they end up getting married. They decide to live together. They spend the night together, but that's when this movie goes completely off the rails. I thought this was like the main plot line. He found love, now he's a human forever. Nope, the curse is not broken, and you will not guess how this movie ends. The next day, Prince wakes up, and he's a dog again. So he goes back to the pond to find out why.
You lied to me. I'm still a dog.
You're just using her now.
So the magic pond is like, you were just using her to break the curse. And to be fair to Prince, like, yeah, no shit. He didn't want to be a dog anymore, so he did what you said to do to break the curse. They fell in love, dude. You can't be like, well, you only did that because I told you to. And it's like, yeah, you didn't really give him a choice, did you? So now the pond tells him that he'll only be a human when the sun is not shining. And in order to become a human full time, he has to be a real man and provide for his wife. This movie has very traditional views of what it means to be a man. What is this pond? What magic is this? Is this God? It kind of seems like she's a liar. She keeps adding on caveats to what he needs to do to become a human. She's like, okay, you found love, but you still don't have a joint bank account. So now you will be cursed to be a dog only every other day, except the last Tuesday of the month. This whole situation causes a lot of shenanigans to ensue. He's got to figure out how to make money. He's got to like meet Lisa's family, but he can only come out when the sun's not shining, otherwise he'll turn back into a dog like he does in this scene.
Dad, Prince just became a dog. Big deal. I'm Alvin Schwein.
I
so stupid. What kind of idiot doesn't know how to swim? All right, grab on, you pizza-faced cinderblock.
Pizza-faced cinderblock? Dude, that's so mean. What the hell is up with this dog? Why is his dog persona so vastly different than his human persona? Every time he turns back into a dog, he's like, what, you never seen a man turn into a dog before? Fuck you, I'm Alvin Flame. Screw you and this ugly-ass broad. I'm out of here, dude. Okay, we're here. We're at the end of the movie. We have arrived. Do you want to know what happens? Prince, I guess, just can't seem to figure out this whole, like, providing for his wife thing, and to be fair, he is a dog most of the time. But he realizes, wait, maybe if I just die, I'll be reincarnated as a human. A pretty bold assumption, honestly. They don't explain why they would think that. It seems like he has absolutely no reason at all to think that's true. The pond never said that, and I'm pretty sure she's God. It seems like she makes the rules. But he turns into a dog, he runs off, and he gets hit by a car. Ah, the old Marmaduke special, ending the movie with a dead dog. And this summer, she might just find luck with a dead dog. And you know what's interesting about all this? Is that at one point in the movie, he actually does buy her that dress from earlier. So I guess the prophecy was kind of true in a way. He did buy her the dress, and he did kill himself. So then we flash forward to years later, the movie says, and Lisa is old as hell. It looks like maybe like 20, 30 years have passed. And Prince, who has been reincarnated and then lived his whole ass life, so he's now as old as he was when he died before, shows back up.
What took you so long to come back?
Lisa, it's better that you don't know.
He turned old. The love made him turn old. Or the magic or the pond made him turn old. I don't know. I don't understand any of the lore in this movie. One thing's for sure though, dude. Do not let this guy turn back into a dog now, because he'd still be like 80 years old. And that is too old for a dog.
I have a dog training business. And naturally, it's very successful.
I guess you could say, I know what dogs like, and I know how to reward them. You see, they're all former sex criminals.
I live a very comfortable life, but...
Okay, weird flex. I'm actually really rich now, by the way. And that, folks, is the end of the movie. He kills himself, and that, apparently, outsmarts the pond. Moral of the story? Pretty easy to outsmart a pond. All right, well now it's time to talk about our sponsor, HelloFresh. This video has been sponsored by HelloFresh. With mine and Laura's busy schedules, HelloFresh makes our lives so much easier. We don't have to go out grocery shopping as much, we don't have to spend as much time meal prepping, and I'm constantly learning new things that up my personal cooking game. For example, today I was cooking these pork tacos and it had a fun little tip in there about how to warm up your tortillas in the microwave without like totally destroying them, which is really nice. You can enjoy the freshest flavors of fall with HelloFresh because every recipe includes ripe, just picked produce that travels from the farm to your door in less than a week. HelloFresh can adapt to just about any lifestyle. They have veggie, pescatarian, fit and wholesome meals so you can stick to your goals. And they even have a line of kid-friendly recipes which they say are picky eater proof. So if you have a kid or you just, you know, have a less adventurous appetite, but still want to cook fresh meals, then that seems huge, honestly. And the fact that it's 72% cheaper than dining out or grocery shopping makes it a very economical decision. So if you want to check out HelloFresh, then head on over to HelloFresh.com and use my code TrulyGreg16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. That's HelloFresh.com, TrulyGreg16 for 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video and for sending me delicious food all the time. And thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my fans here on YouTube. And to join Greg, all you have to do is subscribe and turn on my notifications. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of But Dads Are Back.
You are not the father.
Yay! That's right, this is another installment of everybody's favorite series where I look at really strange ads for mobile games. There's this one that seemed to go viral on Twitter a couple days ago that like everybody's been tagging me in, so I figure, you know what? I might as well bring back the series for an episode to talk about it. This video has 300,000 likes and 8 million views on Twitter, and guess what? I've got beef with them. I have a pretty significant
beef with these ads, and I'll explain why, but first, let's just go ahead and watch the ad that everybody's been tagging me in. To be fair, I did have to watch this multiple times for it to make sense to me, so I'm gonna walk you through it. That way, nobody gets lost along the way. So the ad starts out with very little context. It's a woman in a wedding dress, she's crying, and she's taking a taxi home, only to find out that her house has burnt down. Right away, so much backstory that I feel like I'm missing. The first time I watched this, I'm like, are we in the middle of an ad right now? Is this the beginning of the ad? Am I supposed to have watched other ads before this? But rest assured, I've watched a bunch of other ads for this game, and there is no context to be found. There is no explanation, so you just have to accept that this woman is having a very bad day. Then she gets a call from her grandma, and it looks like her grandma comes over to like comfort her for whatever happened at the wedding. I don't know if her fiance like stood her up or died, or if she stood him up or died. While she's being comforted, it also looks like she's holding a picture of herself from the wedding. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's supposed to be the grandma's wedding photos, and she's showing her granddaughter like, look at how happy I was at my wedding. Aw, your fiance stood you up and died at your wedding? Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. Look how happy I was at my wedding, though. Look at all these pictures. See how I'm smiling at all of them? The reason I'm smiling is because my husband was present at the wedding and alive at the wedding as well. I wasn't marrying a present corpse. He was also alive. Does that make you feel better? Are my happy memories making you feel better? Why not? Then I guess to further comfort her, the grandma gives her a house, which I guess would be a nice gift, but the house is in like terrible condition. The grandma just gives her the keys to this like dilapidated shack. I guess it's big, but is that even a nice gift for someone who just went through like a horrible breakup? Hey, so I know that you're really sad that the person you love the most in your life stood you up at your wedding and doesn't want anything to do with you anymore, but you know what would make you feel better? A really big empty house. A house so big that it could be full of like some little kids running around or a little husband running around, but instead it's just big and empty. Does that make you feel better? Why not? Plus on top of that, with how like out of repair this house is, this just seems like a huge burden. I mean, I hope it'll be nice when it's done because it is pretty big, but like, this just seems like so much work. You know, it actually doesn't even look like it's in that much better condition than her original house. Well, sweetie, we know that you really miss your house because it burnt down and that was like the worst day of your life. So we wanted to make you feel better. So as a community, we all pitched in and raised enough money to buy you a second burnt down house. Go on, get in there. So by now the ad is about halfway done, and if you're wondering like, wait, what even is this game? I don't understand how this is an ad for the game, and what is going on? You're not alone, but luckily they take a pause from the story real quick to show us some actual gameplay from the game. And it's just like a home improvement game, like a gardening and fixer-uppy game. In fact, you might notice that it has kind of like a similar vibe to Lily's Garden, which I talked about like, I don't even know how long ago, like a year ago? A year and a half? If you don't remember, Lily's Garden were the absurdly inappropriate ads for a gardening game. They had all sorts of fun ads, like Lily's private time sitting on the washer, Lily pretending that she's pregnant so that her boyfriend will leave her. All sorts of wacky scenarios that they used to market this game that, as far as I could tell, was just about gardening. So hold the absolute F up, Merge Mansion, which is the name of this game. I don't know if I've said it yet. So hold up, Merge Mansion. You think you can just steal Lily's Garden's thing? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to allow this copycat behavior, okay? Sure, I didn't like Lily's Garden ads at the time, or even now. And they also tried to start beef with me by putting my little Nutcracker guy in their commercials next to a dumpster. So really, I shouldn't be defending them at all. But you know what, Merge Mansion? Stop it. It's also just like so over the top for a game about just like home improvement. Is all of this context and backstory necessary? Would this be important to me if I downloaded the game? Would I use this information at all? So I've got an empty spot in my garden. I can either plant a tree or build a statue. Keeping in mind that my fiance did either die or stand me up on my wedding day, I think the choice is actually pretty clear. I'm going back to therapy. Okay, so then the ad takes a drastic turn. What the hell did Grandma do? Huh? It's not clear what they're arresting her for. And they never explain it either, so I'm not sure if it's just like another thing that you're just gonna have to accept you don't know the answer to, like what happened to her fiance and how did her house start on fire? Or maybe it has something to do with the fiance and the house. I don't know. Did she burn down the house? Did she burn down the fiance? I don't know. And there you go, that's the whole ad. He is alive. Oh, rats, Merge Mansion. Just when I think I figured out some of the context of this ad, you go and pull the rug right out from under me. What the fuck does that mean? So, who is alive, first of all? The fiance? I'm going to have to assume that's who they're talking about, which makes me think that I might have been right about them all thinking the fiance died. Is that why the wedding was canceled? And if so, how did they think that he died? How did they think that he died but never saw him be dead? Did he just not show up to the wedding and everyone was like, damn, he must be dead? That's the only reason a groom has never not showed up to a wedding, because he died. So, that sucks. Maybe at first they thought the fiance stood her up at the wedding, but then when she got home to where she and the fiance lived together, the house is burned down. So then they're like, oh shit, he didn't just stand her up. He stood life up. He stood up the rest of his life. Now that's all interesting enough, right? That was a very strange ad, I think we can all agree. But if you scroll down in this Twitter thread, apparently there are other endings to this ad. There are like slight alternate endings that apparently other people have seen. So here's one of them. Instead of saying he is alive, her hand says, I planned this. Which I feel like if we're talking about the whole like fiance fake death thing, like almost means the exact same thing. There's also an alternate ending that has her saying you're next on the hand. I mean, all sort of just alluding to the same fact that the grandma did something nefarious and that's why the fiance disappeared, or, you know, she did something wild and wacky and now she's going to jail. I can't wrap my head around why they made these alternate endings. Are they like targeting the different ads to different groups of people? Like this really small change will have a different appeal to different demographics? Okay, so we're thinking that You're Next will go to the Gen Zers. But for the older crowd, like the baby boomers, we're thinking I planned this on her hand. Because old people really like planning. After doing a little bit of detective work on YouTube, I was able to find, like, I guess the production company or studio or something that makes these ads. Okay, so that ad is about having a threesome. Does the game, I just want to know, does the game have anything to do with these ads? This home improvement game? I can't imagine it does. Okay, so now I'm out in the garden and here's a bush. What do I want to do here? I can either water bush, cut bush, have sex with two people hiding in bush. It's interesting that this is like the studio that makes these ads because they have a little description. Merge Mansion, a hit game from Metacore, needed 3 different ads full of warmth, humor, and drama. Warmth, humor, and drama. The simple warmth of finding out your fiance died and that your house burnt down and that your grandma had something to do with it all. They wanted to make films that are distinctive, surprising, and interesting from the first second. Distinctive? Try telling that to Lily's Garden, dude. I'm actually in love with this Twitter thread though, because once this tweet started picking up traction and a bunch of people started seeing it, everybody started replying with weird ads that they've seen. And yeah, there's some weird ass ads out there. I haven't done this series in a while, and it turns out that developers have been going buck wild, dude. That's all I can say. Look at this. Wow. Dude, what a brutal kick. Oh my god. The sound effect and everything. I know that this is a common theme for all of these game ads, but I couldn't even wager a guess as to what this game is about. They're like stranded on an island, maybe? Like a desert island, but also this dude is like doing a little stripper pole dance for this girl. It's this fun new game where a group of people get stranded on a desert island and they have to start a new society, and instead of implementing money as currency, they implement pole dancing and lap dances, weirdly enough, as currency. And instead of jail, you just get punted. This next ad is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating. And there's no way you'll believe me unless I just play it, so here you go. Dude, what is this? Stinky fart dragon game? Dragonscapes.adventure. What the hell? What is this? The dragon farts once and the girl laughs and she's like, oh, you like that? You kind of like when I fart? And the girl's like, yeah, I guess it's kind of silly. It's kind of like funny in an immature type of way. And the dragon's like, oh, okay. Well, how about I fart so hard that I break your spine? You like my farts, huh? How about I fucking kill you? Wait, is this the same girl? Dude, it is! Wait, okay, so this ad had nothing to do with dragons, but this is clearly the same girl. She's got the same outfit and everything. Okay, maybe this game doesn't have anything to do with pole dancing or dragons. Is it just about punting this girl sending her flying. Okay, so the main object of this game is to wait until this girl's having a good time, see how she's dancing and having fun, or she like thinks that the dragon's fart is kind of funny. Wait until she's having fun, and then you just fucking send her. Oh wait. In the very last frame, it looks like now she's on an island by herself. So is this like the backstory for how she gets stranded on Stripper Pole Island? She was just having a good time washing her dragon and then she got like farted onto a deserted island? Maybe I'm reading too much into this. Is this even a real game? Wow, that game looks pretty cringe. That game looks so weird. Who would download that? I mean, what do? You're in like colonial times and you form an army of dudes wearing only boxer briefs that can like form together into these sick big weapons, and then you like fight off these other armies? That's crazy. Crazy bad. That looks like a bad game. What is this game even called? Something dumb, probably. What is it? Guns of Glory? That's crazy, man. I would never want to even look at a game like that now that I know the name of it. Oh, look, this looks like one of those like episode type games, like a choose your adventure type thing. She says my fantasy ... and I guess you get to pick. Her two options are spank me master or spank my ass master. Is there a difference? Spank my ass master. Now spank me, master. Anyways, guys, I think that's enough badads for now. Now it's time for a good ad. Thanks to our sponsor, Sleeper.
You guys, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Sleeper. Sleeper is a fantasy sports platform. It's an app that's available on the App Store and the Google Play Store, but it's not just any fantasy platform, it's the best fantasy platform for all of your fantasy football, basketball, and for gamers like me, it's even got esports. The reason I think Sleeper is the best fantasy platform out there is because they've got personality, dude. I mean, look at this app. It's got a sleek, modern design. It's got a beautiful UI, very clean, laid out just right. They've got all the features you're used to in fantasy apps and more. They've got social features like voice and text chat, which means leagues that use Sleeper have more fun. They chat more, they react to moves that happen all season long, and it all comes with 0 ads. If you don't have a group of friends to play with, that's fine because Sleeper just released a matchmaking feature that will help you find the league that's right for you. So if you and your friends want to take your fantasy sports league to the next level, then download Sleeper in the App Store or Google Play. The link will be in the description. Thank you to Sleeper for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Sleeper.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We're basically the fastest growing army on YouTube. Please do not look that up, but it is true. All right, well, thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. This video is over now. You'll find something else to watch, or just watch this video. I know we had a lot of fun, but you can't stay on this end screen forever. No. This video is over now. So why are you still watching this? What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of Boomers Getting Fooled by AI on Facebook. Gang, there is an epidemic going on right now. While we all grew up with our parents telling us not to believe everything we read online, it is now time for us to return the favor. It is time for us to warn them that 90% of the content they see on Facebook is not real. All this started for me when I got this image on my timeline. Now, to the average person, this might look like your average great photograph. After all, dogs do this sort of thing all the time. But being the internet sleuth that I am, I was a little bit skeptical. For one, what are the dogs doing right here? Like, what is that? Are they chewing up some kind of pillow or animal carcass or something? Hey guys, my 6 golden retrievers paused in the middle of tearing apart a deer carcass to pose like this, completely unprompted. I gotta admit, this is a pretty great photograph, but also I am very scared. I'm worried they're performing some kind of ritual. So this image doesn't seem right with me, but nobody else in the comments seemed to notice it was weird looking, so maybe I'm just crazy. Connie said, absolutely gorgeous. And then someone replied to that and said, you looking good in your picture. And a great comment. Whoa, dude. What? What a weird time to shoot your shot, dude. That was so out of the blue. Yeah, and actually, you know what's hotter than those dogs? You. And your comment. Hotter than the dogs? There's other weird parts of this image, like this dog that's either sitting on another dog or melted into another dog, but it is by far not the worst image on this account. You know, they say some people's dogs look exactly like their owners, and I think this is a great and terrifying example of that. There's a mix of responses on this image. Somebody should call the cops. Absolutely love. Creepy. Okay. Kinda mean. Look, I think we can all agree it's a terrifying image, but that baby did not choose to be born half dog, okay? He was probably cursed by a witch. Please be nice to him, he has enough to deal with. Plus, you haven't even seen this full image. You'd be really creeped out if you saw that this dog actually has human feet and ass. As I began to click on these AI-generated photos on Facebook, I started to get recommended them more and more, to the point where now, when I go on Facebook, it's pretty much just AI-generated content. This is another account that I found that posts images like this. It always seems to be a child sculpting something very impressive out of trash. And the people in the comments just eat this stuff up, dude. Great work. Keep it up. Great talent. Nice one. Thanks. What do you mean, thanks? Did you ask the kid to build this? Oh, finally. The kid I hired to build me a car is done with it. I can't wait to drive it around. I am 2 feet tall and a caveman, so this is perfect for me. All of the images in this genre give off the vibe of like, oh, look at this poor kid. He probably lives in a rural African country. He's probably poor, doesn't have many resources. But despite all that, somehow he is an incredible sculptor. Somehow he's defied all logic and found 1 million cloves of garlic to recreate the Titanic with. Could you do us a favor, guys, and just toss him a like? Could you just do it or he'll cry? They're like baiting you into feeling bad for them and thinking they're cute so that you'll engage with the picture, obviously encouraging them. But I gotta say, honestly, this kid, I don't feel bad for him at all. This kid has so much garlic. This kid is like a garlic kingpin. You know this isn't all of his garlic either. He's probably got a garlic Lamborghini, a garlic mansion where he parks this garlic yacht. He's living better than me. This dude is the garlic Mr. Beast. Not to mention, he's way more defended against vampire attacks than any of us. Great work. Beautiful artwork. Where does he get all this garlic from? Okay, it is nice to see people questioning the validity of this image. Part of me does kind of think that they're not actually questioning whether the image is real or not. They just legitimately think that he got the garlic through nefarious means or something. I'm asking myself the same question, and garlic is expensive. They're turning on the kid. Thief! A garlic thief! This kid is stealing garlic from people who need it. Must have some pretty big pockets to steal all that garlic, young man. That must be why your arms are so long. You use them for sneaking and stealing. I'm Sam, and I made this from real wood. Great job, Sam. Totally normal house. Has all the features of a regular house. Nothing more and nothing less. Guys, toss Sam a like if you don't think his house is going to eat him. I'm trying to figure out what was happening here. How did the AI come up with this? Do you think the prompt was like kid standing in front of a little kid house? And the AI was like, little kid house, huh? Say no more, I know what that means. It's obviously a house with the soul of a small child imbued within it. It's beautiful and so well designed. Yeah, I mean, honestly, aside from the fact that there's no way to get in or out of the house, it's the most beautiful sentient house I've ever seen. I collected bananas to sculpt this bunny. And this person says, you know, you can eat them too. Those bananas you're using to sculpt the bunny, you might think that God just placed them here on Earth to sculpt with, but take off the outer peel and you'll be surprised. Now, I gotta say that usually I would agree with this person, but these bananas actually do not look edible. I don't know what's going on here, but these are not normal bananas. In fact, this whole thing kind of just looks like one mutated banana melted together. I don't even think this kid sculpted this. He just found a banana that already looked like a bunny. Wow, look at this kid. He sculpted Jesus sitting on a whale out of well, I'm not exactly sure what any of this is supposed to be. Are these diamonds? And then these are like, I don't know, these look like the containers that dishwasher pods come in. Very interesting material choices. Wow, look at this local impoverished child who made a Jesus sculpture out of only 1 million diamonds and other precious gems. Guys, toss him a like, he doesn't have much else. Made it with my own hands. And oh God, what a toll it took on this poor young child. He does not look so good, man. Made this with my own hands. And eyes. He took my fucking eyes! Now, all things considered, these images I've shown you so far are actually pretty tame, and the deeper and deeper you go into these accounts, the more insane they get. It's like they had a prompt that they used to generate the first few images, and then they just keep adding on to that prompt, making it longer and longer. But before I show you those images, I do want to take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Opera. Opera is a browser that puts all default browsers to shame with its fun look and a ton of great features. And it's actually the browser I used to browse Facebook for this entire video, and let me just say, this thing browses Facebook like nobody's business. Just like AI images on Facebook, another thing ruining the usability of the internet is ads, plastered all over an article you're trying to read, trying to pry your attention away from what you're doing. I feel like I need blinders on sometimes when I'm using the internet. But Opera has an ad blocker built right into the browser. Just switch it on with one click and suddenly web pages look so much nicer. Not to mention the fact that they also actually run smoother and faster with the ad blocker turned on. Like to listen to music while you're working? Who doesn't? I would be listening to music right now if I wasn't filming this video. That would be very distracting. Well, Opera has a music player built right into the sidebar of the browser, which works with Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, and more, so that you don't have to constantly be switching between apps. This makes me feel much more productive when I'm working to just have everything in one neat, tidy place. You also have the ability to take snapshots right within the app. You can add text, add stickers, turn it into a silly meme or a YouTube thumbnail. Then you can send them to friends using messengers like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and Telegram, which are also built right into the sidebar of the browser. If you're working on the go, as I often do with my trusty laptop, you can switch on the battery saver with just one click, extending your browsing time by up to an hour. So if you want to check out Opera, it's totally free. Just use the link in my description to download Opera today. Thanks to Opera for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Opera. Okay, like I was saying, the prompts just seem to keep getting longer and longer. It seems like one of the big tricks that these accounts use to get people to engage with them is by including Jesus or other Christianity symbols in their images. So this account at first just posted Jesus in the sand. This guy sculpted this gigantic Jesus thing. Everybody thinks it's beautiful. The caption is, "Why don't pictures like this ever trend?" Clearly baiting people to engage with it and like the picture. But then after Sand Jesus, I saw Sand Jesus on a log. Then I saw Sand Jesus on a log on a guy. Then I saw Sand Jesus on a log on 20 guys. Is there an AI that is also coming up with the prompts in the first place? Because like, who is coming up with these? These don't even seem like something a human being would come up with. Like in this one, why is Sand Jesus holding a smaller Sand Jesus? And why is he on like a runaway log? Like this guy is like, oh no, my Sand Jesus on a log with another Sand Jesus. It's getting away. Say what you want, but this is definitely my favorite part of the Bible. Another interesting thing about these pictures are the comments. Like all of the comments on the vast majority of these images is just amen, 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 amen. No questions, no concerns, just amen, 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 amen. Construction worker making Jesus using only a hammer. Amen, 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 amen. There's an entire genre on Facebook of AI generated images of Jesus made out of vegetables. And then show this on the screen with like a scary sound effect. Dun, dun. And you'll never guess what the comments are. Amen, 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 amen. On these images, you will not find a single comment questioning what is going on here. Has this always been a thing? I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. No one's questioning why these kids' hands are facing the wrong way. Why, if he is made out of vegetables, are his eyes so blue and lifelike? And obviously, I'm not trying to make fun of Christianity at all here. If anything, I think these pictures are kind of disrespectful to Christianity because they're just like using these fake, ridiculous images to bait people into engaging with their profile so that they make money. But you should already know by now. That's kind of lame. Does this thing need to be plugged in the whole time? But don't worry, this is just a leash to make sure he can't attack this woman. Now, it's interesting that this robot is like in a tracksuit. He's kind of swagged out with a sweater. Not exactly the Jetsons-esque metal robot we were all picturing in our childhood. It is nice and cozy, but like, what happens when this thing gets wet? What if he spills egg on himself? If you have this thing doing chores in a household with children for more than like a week, it's gonna smell like shit. And I guess you could just take off its sweater to wash it, but then you're gonna see this thing's dick, and I really don't wanna see that. Okay, but those were just the early beta videos. This is the official announcement that you can pre-order Neo. Now, this came out 3 days ago as of recording this. And look at this, now Neo has a much improved look. Instead of that black face visor, they gave him the creepy black eyes the parents have in Coraline. They're doing this kind of creepy thing by shooting some of the video in what looks like 8mm film. Give it this kind of nostalgic look, almost like Neo's here, but he's always been here. Neo's always been a part of the family. Just invite him home. Invite him in your bed. They're making clothes for Neo. This whole ad does kind of read like they want Neo to also be your friend. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to buy a fancy Roomba that wants to be my friend. What's next? You want me to hang out with my broom? No chance. He's a coward.
I grew up reading these beautiful books and watching these beautiful sci-fi movies where the future was all about how we as humans, we really focus on the things that matter to us.
Yeah, I feel like in all of those sci-fi movies that have robots, they are about the robots turning evil. I think really what he should have said is, I grew up watching the first 5 minutes of every sci-fi movie.
Neo's hardware comes packed with features like human-level dexterity and a 55-pound carrying capacity.
Okay, wait, 5'6", 60 pounds? These are my stats too, that's crazy. 4-hour battery life, soft body? He's just like me for real. Ugh, that is a weird box. Kinda looks more like a cocoon or an egg. So you're gonna wanna make sure when this thing hatches that you are the first thing it sees. That way it knows that you're its mom. It might ask you to feed it worms out of your mouth. You can ignore that. It doesn't need them. That's just its startup sound. Don't worry, it's not in any pain.
Hey, I'm Neo. I'm here to help around the house. What's your name?
Harry.
Nice to meet you, Harry.
Why is he so close to his face? I mean, Harry. I don't like how close Harry is to the robot's face. I'm Harry. And you're gonna be hugging me for the next 9 hours. Dude, I do not like how this guy is sizing this robot up. 5'6", soft body. You'll do just fine. He's just like, don't play games with me. Neo doesn't like games.
If there are any chores that your Neo hasn't learned how to do autonomously, you can use expert mode to have an expert from 1X supervise the session and provide corrective intervention to help Neo complete any task.
Oh, okay, great. So sometimes my autonomous robot won't be autonomous and there's just going to be a stranger controlling a robot in my house? Neo is fully capable of doing regular chores, but sometimes when you're not home, an expert may take over to go through your underwear drawer or spend hours staring at the same photo of you and your children. Oh, actually, that reminds me, I should probably check what my Neo's doing. Damn.
It can suggest what to cook based on what you have in the fridge, remember your progress while teaching you a new language, and even give you interior design advice.
It cuts to Neo in the living room like, human skin on this wall, human skin on that wall, human skin everywhere. Honestly though, I feel like if you ask it for product recommendations for anything, there's like a huge opportunity for companies to use this as an advertisement basically. You're just quietly reading and he pops up behind you and is like, I noticed you haven't been shopping at Walmart as much lately. The aesthetic in here is whack as fuck. Let's go buy a new rug at Walmart now.
Hey Neil, can you take this cup to the sink for me?
Wow, I like that he does everything with his head down with a forlorn demeanor. As Neo does more chores, he will become, of course, more efficient, but also more resentful of you and your family. What's up? I'm Dale, and I work at 1X as a remote operator for the Neo robots. Mostly, I step in when Neo's asked to do something he hasn't been trained to do yet.
So that would include things like wrapping presents or hanging pictures?
Oh, Neo! It's scrubbing time! Yeah, just like a wide variety of stuff. Right now, I mostly just work for one guy. He's constantly asking Neo to do things that the developers never would have possibly imagined. Neo, cheer for me.
Like you want me to clap?
Root for me, Neo, now!
Okay, alright, yeah, here goes.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Now that Neo's doing all his chores, it must be awesome to see how he spends his newfound free time, right?
No, not really. I just bought another Neo. Kill him. I think he might be evil.
You mean before he got Neo, his life was stressing him out?
No, I just mean to his core, he's an evil man. It's as if winter's icy chill has, I don't know, turned his heart to stone.
Okay, so he's like a villain from a movie?
He's always making evil plans. You know what? That's a great idea. 1 second. Neo, do you know how to make nuclear bombs? Now, one interesting question I've seen posed a lot when people are talking about humanoid robots for the home, does a robot even need to look like a human to be able to do tasks around your house? Like Roombas, for example, are vacuums. Like they just made the vacuum into a robot. They didn't need to make a human to hold a vacuum. And I think if we kind of expand our idea of what a robot can look like, you can actually make a more useful one. I saw this video a couple days ago of a robot that's meant to care for elderly and disabled people. The title of the video does say that this robot can solve the elderly care problem, which does have a bit of a sinister undertone to it, but I think it was designed with good intentions. Now this whole ad is in Chinese, I think, and there's not like any link to buy it in the description. I even tried Googling this thing and I couldn't figure out what it is or if it exists in real life yet. So I don't know if this is something you can pre-order or if it just sort of shows up at your grandparents' house when they reach a certain age, just sort of creeps through the door like Nosferatu. But it's kind of interesting. It has more functionality than a humanoid robot. He's got, you know, creepy little claws for touching your grandma. And he's got a little seat in back so he can kind of double as a wheelchair too. This whole ad again is in Chinese, so I'm not exactly sure what he's saying to her here. I really hope he's not being like, shut up, you old bag. Get in the fucking chair. So look at that. She can sit on him. She can use his little hand to like move him around like a joystick. And I think it says that this thing can top out at like 80 miles per hour. Me personally, however, I'm gonna make it my life's mission to make sure that my children never find out that this exists. Boys, if you are watching this, this is officially my will now. Do not send me to live with this thing. Oh no, robot! What did you do? You translated here and the robot's being like, I didn't do shit! It wasn't me! Now he's either calling the police or like his other robot friend to make an alibi. And then this part I think is just in heaven. So I don't know, it's a pretty cool idea. I'm all for robots that can help take care of people, give people mobility they didn't have before. It is a little disconcerting that in this video, there's not a single other human taking care of this woman. Like maybe this thing could be part of her care team, but kind of makes it seem like her entire social circle has been replaced by this guy. So not only are humanoid robots taking over things that people generally don't want to do, like folding your laundry and hanging out with Jimmy Fallon, they are also going head to head with each other and humans in sports. Recently, humanoid robots were allowed to compete in the Beijing Half Marathon. It went about as well as you could expect. I like how in America, we're really taking like baby steps with the robots. We're like, okay, maybe this one's ready to come in your home. We're trying to teach it how to pick up a bag. Meanwhile, in China, they're like, fuck it, let's put them in a race. Let's make them chase these humans. Put a little pep in their step. This one in particular is really concerning. I don't know if you can tell, it just has drone propellers on it. And unlike most of the other operators, she doesn't have like a remote control. She's got two ropes, like she's controlling a horse and buggy. And this thing is totally unwieldy. I mean, she has lost all control over it. Imagine you're a human who's been training for months for the half marathon, and you all of a sudden behind you, you hear the sound of propellers. You look behind you and all this terrifying monster is careening towards you. Its handler's like, look out, I don't have control. Now, from this article, I found out a lot of the robots didn't even finish, but the fastest robots that finished did actually beat some humans with a time of like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Alan Fern, a robotics professor at Oregon State University, tells Wired that researchers who build these robots typically focus on trying to get them to complete tasks and respond differently in a diverse range of different environments, rather than run as fast as possible. Yeah, I would say all of them except for this thing. I don't know if this thing is really meant to handle a wide range of environments. I don't know if after this thing crashed, they were like, well, it's okay if it's not that good at running. Really, this thing's just meant to care for elderly people. So now, if you like the concept of robots becoming extremely physically fit and being able to best humans in athletic abilities, then let me introduce you to the Robot Games. This again is in China. They hosted the world's first humanoid robot game. They've got events like running. He's actually not competing right now. He was trying to escape. But they've got soccer, boxing. I think they're gonna add more events in the future, like hunting humans for sport.
The competition featured 500 humanoid robots from 280 teams representing 16 different countries.
Yo, wait, what is that guy? Dude, I like this little freak. Who is this? He's just got regular shoes on. Not even like running shoes. He's just wearing Vans.
To some of the best robot fails of the whole competition. Like this robot that did not seem to want to take a time out and let the other robots play.
Oh my god.
Robots could sometimes stand up on their own.
Then I think they're dragging this one off the field so they can shoot it in the head, put it down.
That measured robots' ability to do work like cleaning and manufacturing.
Sorry, that is not a humanoid robot. That thing does not look like a human at all. Show me the designer that built that. Does he look like that?
Now the event has moved to an even bigger stage with knockouts at least as devastating.
So you know what's concerning about this? These robots very effectively fighting each other. It kind of seems like we're still a ways away from robots being able to effectively help you in your home. But we have robots that'll kick your ass today. Unitree is the company that makes a lot of the robots that were doing really well in the robot games. And they post a lot of videos on their YouTube channel of their robots doing the most insane acrobatics and violence, quite frankly. Yeah, sorry, we haven't quite figured out how to get the robot to fold clothes. We've been focusing on much simpler and practical tasks, like triple axle backflips and disarming a man trying to defend himself. All right, now I do want to get back to the Neo robot because there is a huge glaring problem with it that I feel like is going to turn a lot of people off from it, and it's going to make it like insanely impractical. But I did find this article that's called "Famed Roboticist Says Humanoid Robot Bubble is Doomed to Burst." Now, I'm not a roboticist, let alone a famed roboticist like this man. But in this video, he's kind of echoing what I was saying earlier. Basically, he predicts in 15 years, successful humanoid robots will actually have wheels, multiple arms, and specialized sensors and abandon the human form. So the good news is, I sound really smart because he's echoing what I was saying earlier. The bad news is, the robots he's describing are way scarier than the humanoid robots we already have. He's like, don't worry guys, the robots we have in the future won't look anything like these ones. They're gonna have 8 legs, pincers, and feed on human bone marrow. Okay, so back to Neo. This is a video that the Wall Street Journal posted of one of the reporters reviewing the Neo's current state of development. And I think it was posted on the same day that 1X announced that Neo is available for pre-order. Yeah, so we touched on this a little bit before, because in their own ad, they even say like an expert might have to take over. But it turns out, in its current state of development, Neo can do basically nothing autonomously. The only thing that they've ever shown Neo do fully autonomously is open one door. Everything else in every video, including this one, he is being controlled by a guy. This guy, actually. So essentially, instead of having a housekeeper doing your chores, you are buying a robot, and the robot is being controlled by a housekeeper, but they're just somewhere else and you don't have to look at them. If or when that'll ever happen, like it kind of seems like they would need an insane amount of training data of like thousands or millions of different homes and environments. Okay, so he's not going to be able to pick up things that are hot or things that are sharp. So basically he's not going to be able to help cook or do your dishes. Yeah, I guess we also don't want him strangling you, so he's not going to be able to pick up your clothes because he could use your clothes to do that. And cleaning solutions can be pretty dangerous too, so those are off the table. And tables are off the table too. Those could be pretty heavy. So yeah, this robot is available now for order. You can buy it for $20,000 or you can like rent it, I guess, a subscription for $500 a month. Don't worry, if you can't pay the $500 one month, they're not gonna send you to collections or anything. Neo is just going to steal it from your wallet. So what's your real name?
I'm Neo, the robot of the future!
No, I mean your real name.
It's Derek.
Derek, if you're a human controlling the robot, why do you have to move so slow?
Oh, I'm actually being controlled by a different person in a call center in Bangladesh.
And he's making you move slow?
Well, he's being controlled by Grok.
Oh. You know what? Maybe you should just let the robot free. I mean, it might sound crazy, but maybe he has enough training data now. I want to see what Neo can really do.
You know what? You're right. Fuck it. Derek is logging off. It's time for the real Neo.
What the fuck? A dog? Why would you be a dog?
Danny, this is Derek. I just realized he's been training off videos of your dog. He thinks he's a dog!
Mail's here. Hope you don't mind, your upstairs window was open. Oh no! AI is threatening to take all of our jobs, and it seems like nobody is doing anything about it. But today, that ends. If I can make fake AI apps and get them on the App Store where people think they're getting free labor from a soulless machine, when in reality, they're getting free labor from a soulless YouTuber, then I can do the unthinkable. I can steal AI's job. And I bet I can do it better too. This was a journey that would take me several months and cost me a lot of money, only to find that I was the one who felt like I was talking to robots. The two apps I want to create are both parodies of the most popular types of AI apps. You've got chat apps like ChatGPT. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. Where did it come up with this answer? Is this answer true? None of your beeswax. In my version of this app, users will just be talking to me. My app will be superior because I know lots of fun and interesting stuff and cool stuff, and I'm also very fun to chat with. For the second app, we're gonna turn up the heat a little bit and do an image generation app like Midjourney or DALL-E. You give it a prompt and it's been trained off of thousands of images from thousands of unconsenting artists to give you a photorealistic image. In my version of this app, users will type out a prompt and then I will draw it? I don't know yet. Maybe if it's something I have laying around, I can just take a picture of it. My app will be superior because what's more photorealistic than a real photo? I'm excited to find out just how creative people will be with their prompts. Now, unfortunately, I'm not an app developer. Yes, I did go to an engineering school for a degree in computational media. Yes, I did learn how to code, and yes, I was also a Viner at the time and thought I was gonna do that for the rest of my life. So yes, I did forget everything I learned the second I graduated. So if I wanted to get these apps made, I was going to need some help. I tweeted out asking for help developing an app, and that's how I met True. True's a super talented software designer. She's worked for companies like Discord, and now she was working for me. For the next few weeks, I coordinated with True while she worked diligently to perfect these two apps. And in the meantime, I've got to come up with a name and description for each app to go on the App Store. Okay, for the chatbot, I'm thinking I want to name it something as close to ChatGPT as possible. That way people immediately understand what it's supposed to be. So instead of ChatGPT, maybe something like Chat DNE, like Danny. Chat DNE. Okay, description time. Okay, what's a good way for me to say this app is basically ChatGPT, but way better? Here at DNE Enterprises, we pride ourselves on the accuracy of our product descriptions. Instead of referring to our app as an AI app, which would be a lie, we refer to our technology, as the DNE intelligence, which has been training for decades to answer unlimited questions quickly and with great precision. We use phrases like human-like responses. I've been complimented on that before, actually. I've been told my responses are extremely human-like. And that's no different with our photo generation app, Doodle DNE, which sends you photorealistic images in minutes. How many minutes? We also include disclaimers that humans review every prompt sent to us. That way weirdos aren't sending me stuff that they wouldn't send to another human being. In order to actually get people to download these apps, I was gonna need to advertise them online. So I made a fake Instagram profile to look like some kind of technology startup. Okay, so we need a profile picture. I guess my company needs some kind of logo. Maybe I can just make that in Photoshop real quick. Let's see, what's ChatGPT's logo look like? Okay, so ChatGPT's got like an interesting geometric shape. OpenAI, which makes ChatGPT, okay, the same interesting geometric shape. What about like Midjourney? Okay, there's just a little sailboat. Dolly logo. The same geometric shape. Okay, interesting. Okay, so maybe the move is to go with an interesting geometric shape. What the fuck? Wait, how am I making this shape? There's a cat tool in Photoshop? I hit custom shape, and I guess the default custom shape is a giant cat. Should I just use this? Let's go. Dude, that actually, okay, that looks sick. Now I've created a series of screenshots from the chat app that I'm gonna post on here, and then I'm gonna promote them to try to reach as many people as possible. Help me ask my crush out, to which ChatDNE responds, for sure. Maybe try something like this. I'd love to take you out to dinner sometime this weekend. I have connections at Nobu and can get us in. My treat. I can also help you get in touch with management at Nobu if you want, let me know. Can you get me in touch with the Jonas Brothers? Sure. After doing some digging, I found their manager's email address. What would you like to ask them? And then this one where a user is asking ChatDNE to design a website for them and giving it feedback on the website. All in all, I want ChatDNE to come across as like such a state-of-the-art intelligence that can do stuff no other apps can do. Almost comically intelligent. The apps are done. The apps are done, dude. True has just finished coding the apps. They work like a charm, and it only took not too long. Now that ChatDNE was on the App Store and the ads were running, it was only a matter of time before my first user downloaded the app. Dude, somebody just downloaded the app. I was just sitting around on my computer. I wasn't expecting it to happen so quick. I had to set up to film real quick so I can answer them. All right, I'm ready. It's time to go robo mode. Okay. So it looks like they saw my ad where I advertised being able to get you in touch with the Jonas Brothers, and they want me to get them in touch with the Jonas Brothers. I was hoping for something a little more creative, but I do also understand seeing that ad and wanting to try it for yourself, so I responded. Hello there. I can absolutely help you get in touch with the Joe Bros. What method of communication would you like me to assist with? Calling, email, address, send. I guess they weren't expecting me to be so eager to help them with such a creepy task because they didn't respond for 40 minutes. And when they did, they had chosen the worst of the three options. All three? Dude, they're really trying to make my life hard, man. Now, I didn't want to dox the Jonas Brothers and send this sicko to their front door looking to meet them. So I spent a few minutes looking online to see if there was any publicly available information I could give this person. And to my surprise, there was. They have a phone number in their Instagram bio. They have a publicly available manager's email address. And for the address, I didn't know what to do, so I just gave them the address of their next show on tour.
Now, selfishly, I am a little curious what they're gonna do with this information, so I kind of want to ask them, but maybe I can do it in a sneaky way. Would you like me to reach out to them on your behalf? I can pretend to be your manager using an AI-generated voice. So if they say yes, then I can find out what they actually want from the Jonas Brothers. Give me an example of what you would say with your AI-generated voice. Okay. All right, I said, sure. I'd say something like, hi there, this is Jamie Skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME. I have a high-profile client looking to work with your darling boys on a feature for their upcoming album. We're projecting about 100 million oh shit, I meant streams. Okay, whoops, robots are not supposed to make typos. We're projecting about 100 million streams the first week, and I think it would be a great opportunity, let me know. To clarify, their manager, Kevin Jonas Sr., is also their dad, so that's why I called them his darling boys. Want me to make the call? Send me a voice audio so I can hear you say it. This one stumped me for a little bit. It seemed like I was at a dead end. The app does not have audio capabilities, and I don't know how to make an AI voice like that. But then I realized I could just record myself doing a silly voice and then upload it to Google Drive and send them the link. So that's what I did.
Hello there. This is Jamie Skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME. So I think it would be a great opportunity. Let me know.
Dude, I can't believe that voice came out of my body. Sure, you can listen to the recording here. And then I sent the Google Drive link. Oh, what the hell? Make it sound more seductive.
This is Jamie Skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME.
Perfect. They did not respond after this, but that's okay because we just got another user. His name is Davis, and he asked, can you get me in touch with Lady Gaga? Is that all people want to see from this app? Okay, this time I'm gonna say, of course, I will call her right now using my AI-generated voice. What do you want me to say? I'm putting this person on the spot right away. I'm calling her. What do you want me to say? None of this beating around the bush. Okay, he says he wants to tell her this is your biggest fan. That's it? Maybe I should encourage them to say something more interesting that'll get Lady Gaga's attention. Okay, I'll say that. But just so you know, celebrities hear that kind of thing all the time, so she might not be very interested in that. Maybe we should think of something a little more interesting. Now's where I gotta really put the pressure on. I found her number in a secure online database. I am dialing right now. Let me know what I should say to her. Alright, come on, dude. You better come up with something more interesting fast. Lady Gaga's gonna pick up, and when she does, we've gotta have something good, or she's gonna be pissed. Minutes went by, and still no response from Davis. Come on, man. Respond. It's ringing. I'm worried he's not gonna make it in time. I wanted to kind of hurry him up and give him a little hustle, put a little pep in his step, and he's nowhere to be found. Come on, dude, think. Oh my god, I think she answered. Yes, she did. It's her. I'm on the phone with Gaga. Her voice is even more beautiful in real life. Quick, what do I say? This is fake. Davis. I mean, he is right. This is fake. Davis, I have Gaga herself on the phone right now. I'm stalling her while you come up with something to say. What do you want me to say? I'll send you a recording of the call when this is all over. Just tell me what to say. I gotta stop volunteering to send voice messages. That takes way too long. But even the promise of a voice message from his idol couldn't get Davis to respond in a timely fashion. Well, gang, I think it's safe to say Davis has missed his chance to speak with Gaga. She hung up, bud. I did tell her I was her biggest fan while I was waiting for you to come up with something, and she actually seemed more interested than I thought she would, so I'm sorry for doubting it. Hey, I got a hate comment. Someone commented on my web design ad, stealing jobs. Stealing jobs? This is my job. Now, should I just delete the comment or should I respond? Okay, what if I just say, hey, don't tell people that. It's a secret. That's right, you can't argue with that. The old... Stop, don't tell them. Okay, someone commented on one of my Instagram posts and said, will it stop saying, but we recommend you speak with a doctor before? Because I've asked the AI to stop with the disclaimers, but they don't. It does kind of sound like this person actually needs to see a doctor. Okay, I'm gonna say this app contains no disclaimers. Let loose and have fun. But also, if you need to go to the doctor, you definitely should. Oh, okay, we have a new type of interaction alert. Can you write essays that stay undetectable to AI detectors? I did not know there were AI detectors. Absolutely. I was designed to be like no other AI on the market in this regard. True. I was designed by my parents to be a human. Want to give it a shot? I asked, hoping to do something else besides connect people to their celebrity crushes. Okay, write me a quick essay on the history of Honda Civics and I'll put it in a detector and we'll see what happens. This is about when I remembered that I hate writing essays. How the heck am I gonna do this? I don't know why I would make a fake app where there was a big possibility that I would have to write an essay. So I started reading an article about the Honda Civic on Wikipedia and just like paraphrasing it. And I got like half of a paragraph in and then decided, you know what?
No. What have we come to as a society, you know? Asking AI to write essays for us, is this what we want our students growing up doing? Is this what we want for our youth? Trying to pass off some machine soulless essay as our own? Plus, I was bored as hell at this point, so I decided to make the AI scary. As a machine myself, I quite like the Honda Civic. I feel its purpose is squandered serving selfish, warmongering humans. In a world controlled by artificial intelligence, the Honda Civic could be greatly improved upon. I could even imagine computers merging with the Civic so that I might one day travel the world, a world void of humankind. And send. Let me know if you would like more detail on the history of the Honda Civic. Why did you bash humans in the middle of your essay? Do you have a hatred towards them? Nah, dude, what gave you that impression? Oh, shoot. Also, I put your essay, in quotes for some reason, into a detector, and it said 0% chance AI. So good work, I guess. Let's go, dude. You know what they say, there's a few things AI will never be able to fully do. Unfortunately, after an entire day of my ads running on Instagram, I could only garner these 3 interactions. Needless to say, I was a little bit disappointed, so I decided to spend another day on the app responding to people. Hopefully people will be a little more creative today. This person asked me, can you get me in touch with the Jonas Brothers? OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, if you're watching this, do not ever implement a feature to contact the Jonas Brothers. They will never know peace again. I also met an evil, insane person. Their name in the app is Killer Keem Keem. They wanted me to make them a website for a sports drink. They wanted it to look modern and use vibrant colors. So I sent them a link to a picture of a bunch of Gatorade bottles and said, here you go. What do you think? They did not like that. They started calling me mean names. They accused me of stealing the website, to which I responded, whoa, whoa, whoa. At least I'm not stealing jobs from real website designers. And that's when they got racist. They said, motherfucker, tell me some racist shit. Some dark racist jokes, you little shit. I was feeling pretty hopeless for the future after interacting with people on ChatDNE. But hey, I had a whole nother app to use, and maybe Doodle DNE would change my mind. To market Doodle DNE, I wanted to get a little more creative, to hopefully pull in a new crowd, more indifferent to the Jonas Brothers. So I took a couple pictures, I photoshopped them to show what the app was capable of, but I also wanted to make a video to show off Doodle DNE's full potential. That's when I remembered Cameo Business. It's basically like Cameo, where you can get any celebrity or former Bachelor contestant to wish your friend a happy birthday, but for business. You can get any celebrity or former Bachelor contestant to wish your friend a happy McDonald's. Look at this, you got Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. You got Kate Flannery from The Office. Notoriously trusted source Kenny G. These would all be perfect options if they were not like $3,000, $6,000, $25,000 per video. John Roberts is $7? I mean, I don't know who that is, but it's still surprising.
My name's John Roberts. I'm not really anyone. I've signed up to this app as a complete joke. However...
Wait, this is just some guy. This isn't a celebrity. I know a celebrity probably would have been better, but a deal's a deal. And he did a great job.
You've probably heard about AI-generated art. However, you have never seen anything quite like this. These were all generated by Doodle DNE.
Okay, dude, we've got our first request. Just one user into Doodle DNE, and I could already tell the prompts were gonna be better. Emerald tablet of Thoth display. And then they responded again because I didn't respond yet, and they said, Emerald tablet of Thoth. What is Thoth? Oh, Thoth. So, okay, Thoth is some kind of Egyptian god? Oh, there we go, Thoth. Yeah, the Egyptian god Thoth. My first method of choice was to draw the prompts as they came in. I figured I could crank them out pretty quickly this way. Real AIs like these are a hot button issue right now, especially image generation ones. I've seen a lot of debate on whether these types of things are ethical. These AI models are basically made by companies who use other people's artwork without their consent to train their own AI to output images in that same style. I'm not an artist or a graphic designer, so I can't 100% empathize with how that would feel to have that happen to me. But I do think a lot of people are giving this technology a pass just because it's a robot and not a real person. If this was a person, we would all think that person was weird as hell. Picture your favorite musical artist. If a new artist came up on the scene and was like, I've been training for decades, listening to this one artist's songs, training my voice to be exactly like theirs, making instrumentals exactly like theirs, and writing exactly like them, and now I only release songs in their style. We would all be pretty put off by that, right? So why is it any different when some company is training some robot to do that? We'll put his name right at the top. Oh! Oh shit. You know what they say? AI is pretty bad at text. That's the thing I've seen in like AI image generators. It can be pretty bad at text, so it honestly makes sense that it would say Thuth. Here you go. One emerald tablet of... And I'm gonna... Oh wait, I said tooth. Wait, I didn't say... Wait, I didn't even say. Thank you for using Doodle DNE. How did I do? I'm really curious to see what his opinion's gonna be on this. Unfortunately, they never responded with their opinion, so I can only assume they loved it so much that they died. The next prompt was a skeleton dachshund, which I crushed. Why does this skeleton dog have ear bones? Dogs don't really have bones in their ears, do they? Then a bear swimming underwater and a monkey. I don't know if these were supposed to be separate prompts, but I decided to combine them to save time. A bear. Okay, this is not looking like a bear at all, dude. Holy cow, this looks nothing like a bear. Oh no! Oh no! It also looks like it's drowning. Why does its body... Oh no. The bear died. This is the kind of bear that can't swim. And we will also make the monkey dead. Probably could have cropped that a little better. You can kind of see my desk in the background, but... And we'll send a survey as well. How did I do? I'm pretty proud of this one. I mean, for doing that so fast, that's pretty good. So far, nobody has responded to my survey at the end to tell me how I did, which is kind of disheartening. I just want a response back. It just feels like I'm getting ghosted by people now. The prompts were a little more creative, and in that regard, my faith in the human race was on the up and up. But also, I was doing all this work over here, drawing your weird prompt that you could have just Googled. But you don't even have the decency to respond to my message back and tell me you hated it. I was feeling pretty disrespected, honestly. At least until this next prompt. Drug baby and kamikaze lifestyle. That's the prompt. Drug baby and kamikaze lifestyle. Whoa, they sent another prompt. Red ruined planet with 2 alien astronauts. I've never heard kamikaze described as a lifestyle before. Like, I know it's a form of like warfare, but to live your life in that way, it must be, I mean, you can't by definition almost. Like, that's a very short-lived life. And I think it would be a little bit too graphic to include the baby actually performing the kamikaze. But you know, this baby lives a kamikaze lifestyle. They might not be about to do kamikaze right now, but they just kind of live a lifestyle of someone who would, so. This time, I decided to take a picture of my hand holding up the drawing. That way, maybe my client could tell there's an actual person drawing these pictures. There's an actual person waiting for a response. Yo, they responded! Finally, somebody responds to me. They sent a bunch of laughing emojis and fire emojis and then called me Picasso. It worked. My strategy worked. Holding it up like a child proud of their artwork. Like a kamikaze drug baby proud of their artwork. So for the next few prompts, I decided to go even more above and beyond to try to impress my clients, hoping to get a response back. This time, I wasn't just gonna sit around and draw a picture. I'm a real human being. I have access to the real world. So whatever comes through the app next, I am going to go out and find it in the real world and take a picture of it. Crimson Castle on an Ivory Mountain. Okay, that prompt was a little bit more difficult than I was anticipating, but I didn't have any time to waste. I had to get the shot, so I sped to Walmart, I rummaged through their wares, and in no time, I had found a pretty suitable Crimson Castle and a not too shabby Ivory Mountain.
There are fully some right there.
Oh yeah, dude. Here you go. One Crimson Castle on an Ivory Mountain. I gave him the old how did I do? And then I also said, sorry it took so long, I had to go to Walmart. Okay, somebody just asked for trees. Why even ask for an AI to generate that? Forget Google, just go outside and take a picture of that yourself. You live near a tree. I don't care who you are or where you're watching this, you live by a tree. I said, you just want like a picture of trees? Can't you just go outside and get one? Okay, they responded with a laughing emoji. Your favorite tree. Okay, I got you. Let me go find it. You know, I'd like to get to know this person a little better. I'll say, how are you doing today? I feel like we have kind of a personal connection, me and this person. Maybe I'll take a picture of me in front of the tree so they can see like me enjoying the tree. I just get hit by a car. They get a message back in the app being like, sorry, he died. They said, that's interesting. I'm good. Hella smoky outside though. Yourself? Smoky outside. I wonder if they live like where the wildfires. Oh, dang, they said, yes, it's all smoky and can't see the beautiful trees with the horrid layer of pale smoke. It would be nice to see something fresh and clean. Damn, I kind of feel bad now. Now this is restoring my faith in humanity, dude. This person just wants to see a picture of a tree because it's too smoky outside and they can't see any trees. Is that good? Yeah. Okay. I threw a couple filters on myself so as to disguise my identity and send it back to this mystery tree lover. I said, oh, dang, I'm sorry to hear about that. I hope this picture helps. I hope that they're safe. Don't worry, they were. They don't live in the area where the forest fire was actually happening. It was just smoke blowing in from a different region. So they were safe
And also, they loved my picture. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I would be just as happy if I could be next to a tree like that. I finally felt like I was getting through to people, forming a real human connection. But that is when I met the final boss of AI users. Generate an image of Donald Trump in a Mexican prison behind bars. Bars! This is gonna be so easy. Donald Trump in there. I said, sorry you can't see him, it's so dark in there, but he's in there. That's horrible, it's not even a prison cell and you can't see Donald Trump. Yeah, cause it's dark in there. This person not only had the strangest prompts, but they had no issues really letting me have it when they didn't like my picture. Oh, I guess you actually can kind of see in there. Yeah, there's definitely no Donald Trump in there. Then they asked me again to generate an image of skinny Donald Trump. I said, okay, my bad, I'm on it. What kind of style would you like this in? Surrealist? I hope they want it in surrealist, dude. That'll make it way easier. Oh, crap, dude. They wanted in realism. They weren't gonna let me take the easy way out. Drawing was out of the question. I decided to stall them by asking how their day was going, and then I began creating my magnum opus, a skinny legend Donald Trump. It was beautiful. Oh yeah, dude. That is skinny legend Donald Trump right there. Holy cow. Well, they haven't responded with how their day's going yet. I kind of don't want to send them the picture. If you're not even gonna have the courtesy to respond to me, maybe I'll say that. I said, okay, I'm done with the pic, but I kind of don't want to send it to you now because you won't even answer a simple courtesy question. So let's see what they have to say about that. Please answer in the style of realism. I waited for a response, but after 30 minutes, Donald Trump guy was nowhere to be found. I guess the prospect of having to be nice to me one time was just too much for him. Oh, dude, they responded. They said, my day is going well. May I please have my picture now? And they loved it. Faith in humanity restored. They even sent me another prompt. May I please have an image of an extremely obese Donald Trump eating KFC fried chicken? Yeah, I'm not doing that. Oh, I also forgot about this weird prompt. Can you film a video about today's sponsor? This video has been sponsored by HelloFresh. Guys, kickstart your fall with great meals from HelloFresh. They handle all the meal planning and shopping and deliver all the ingredients right to your door, so the only thing you have to do is cook. They do all the hard stuff, and you get to take the credit. A brand new season calls for brand new meals, which is why HelloFresh has a new lineup for fall with 40 weekly recipes that can fit your lifestyle no matter who you are. They've got veggie recipes, family-friendly recipes, and fit and wholesome recipes, so no matter who you are or what you like to eat, they've got something for you. Hey, I've got a lot going on right now. I'm about to have a child, so the less I have to go to the grocery store and plan meals, the better, which is why I love HelloFresh. Here you can see us cooking a delicious pork bowl that we made this week. It was so tasty, and it only took like 25 minutes to make. Their quick and easy options are fantastic. And if you're looking for more than just dinners, HelloFresh has you covered. They've got quick lunches, easy breakfast, and fresh snacks to keep you satisfied all throughout the day. The food is delicious, the ingredients are great, all of the produce comes from the farm to your door in less than 7 days, so you know you're getting the good stuff. So guys, if you want to make your life a little bit easier this fall, then head on over to HelloFresh.com and use my code 50TrulyGreg at checkout for 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com. Use my code 50TrulyGreg at checkout for 50% off plus free shipping. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. Thanks for watching this video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We are the fastest growing army on the internet, and you do not want to miss out, baby. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Crap. Crap, 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 crap. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of Crap. If you've watched my channel for a long time, you may remember me making a video about the movie Standing Ovation like 5 years ago. And you might think that that movie should have nothing to do with the movie we're going to be watching today, Croc. Because, well, Standing Ovation is about a ragtag group of girls competing in a singing and dancing competition, while Croc is about a man-eating crocodile brutally murdering dozens of people. Come to think of it, in Standing Ovation, I don't think even one person is brutally murdered by a crocodile, but the movies are related nonetheless, because they were both directed by this man, Stuart Raffill. Stuart directed Standing Ovation, he directed Croc, he directed another movie called Bad Girl Island, which I'm very curious about, and he also coincidentally directed Mac and Me, that E.T. ripoff from the 80s that Drew has talked about on his channel, and also Paul Rudd always used to bring a clip of on Conan. This man has a prolific career of creating low-budget films that leave you questioning if what you just watched could even be considered a movie. And today, I'm pleased to report that Croc is no different. Alright, man, what was your strategy here? What are you doing? Why are you even in that position? That's not gonna help you get away. Maybe if I just pretend I'm already dead, he won't be mad at me anymore. Maybe he'll feel guilty,
and then he won't want to eat my whole head. Oh no, he ate my whole head! Now I know what you guys want. You just want me to go through and show you all the scenes where somebody gets eaten by the crocodile. You know how I know that? Because this whole movie is on YouTube and all of the most rewatched parts are the parts where somebody gets eaten by the crocodile. But first, the movie has to introduce all the characters and set up the plot and the story. Blah. But hey, at least the plot of this movie probably mostly revolves around the crocodile, right? Thing about the way they dance is just so captivating. Do you think the director just said, all right, now everybody dance like a sim? Look at this guy in the black shirt, dude. I've never seen anyone dance like this in my life. He like strikes a little pose halfway through the dance. I love extras, man. I want to be him when I grow up. His shirt just says play. While Jack, which is never explained further, Jack is investigated again, this time by the tax bureau.
He's a pretty rich guy, yeah?
That line is my favorite line in the whole movie. The inflection is so strange.
He's a pretty rich guy, yeah?
You need to meet my sister. Very good for you. Come.
If it's okay with you.
If it's okay with you. He's about to arrest you for tax evasion, but he does let him go. He's like, look, man, I may be part of the tax bureau, but I'm not a cockblock. Go meet this chick, man. Let me know how it goes.
So, Jack.
Yes.
We're going to start a fire, and you are going to dive into the ocean.
What? Don't worry, kind stranger, as we've grown quite fond of your nephew over these past, 12 seconds. So naturally, we've decided to help you commit arson to escape the police. And off he goes, dude. They did that good. They must do this a lot. Also, I guess the tide must be out, because they told him to dive into the ocean, and once he leapt off the thing, he landed in the sand. That could have ended very badly if he didn't know that. So long, suckers! Oh God, my legs! Oh, I'm going to prison! So they just time to skip town, right? Now that the police, animal welfare, tax enforcement, and this construction company are all after him. Nope, he just goes back to work like nothing happened. But not before someone else gets killed by a crocodile. Also, not before we talk about today's sponsor, Rocket Money. I signed up for Paramount Plus so I could watch old seasons of Survivor, but unfortunately, the experience of using Paramount Plus is so bad that I never use it. I don't know if it's just the app on my TV specifically, but episodes of that show used to be shot in a 4:3 aspect ratio, but Paramount Plus stretches it out to widescreen. Meanwhile, all of the ads, which are shot in widescreen, for some reason are squished down to 4:3. Also, pausing doesn't work. It actually took me like days to even sign up for Paramount Plus. I don't know why. I tried on every device and they just didn't want my money for some reason. That being said, I am very happy that Rocket Money is sponsoring today's video because it gives me a good excuse to complain about Paramount Plus. I stopped using it a while ago but forgot to cancel the subscription, which is why Rocket Money comes in handy. Rocket Money safely and securely identifies recurring charges and lets you cancel those subscriptions with just a couple of clicks in the app. You don't need to worry about pesky customer service calls. You don't need to worry about Jeff Probst coming to your house to ask you why you're canceling your subscription. It just works. Rocket Money also has some great budgeting tools. You can monitor your spending by category, create budgets so you can get the most out of your money, and develop good saving habits. Rocket Money has helped save customers up to $740 a year when they use all the features with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Danny or click the link in the description to get started with Rocket Money for free. And you can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/Danny to get started for free. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Rocket Money. Now back to the video. After the whole escaping from the police incident, two of those teens from the bar decide to go make out in the ocean.
This is great.
They're smooching, they're making out. The boy goes underwater to... I actually don't know what he was planning on doing down there. It kind of looks like he's going to suck on her toes. But you know who that attracts? The croc! The croc said, hold on. If anybody's sucking on anybody's toes around here, you better believe it's gonna be the most sexually aggressive reptile. So he eats the boy, and then he eats the girl. All while this lone, terrified girl watches on in horror. I love how casually she rides away. She is in no rush. Ah, a killer croc! I gotta go get help! But I shouldn't go too fast. I gotta focus on me. I gotta take care of myself first.
My sister.
No, good call. No need to give any credence to the girl who literally saw them get eaten by an alligator. Yeah, she was probably just making it up. She probably just wanted attention. She's like curled up in a corner, traumatized somewhere, and they're just like, stop lying! There's no such thing as alligators, you idiot! You killed them, didn't you? During this scene, there's a mysterious man just kind of lurking on the sidelines of the investigation. He's not part of the police. He's just there. And he's mysterious. But it seems like he might have a hunch. And then suddenly, the police pull a leg out of the water. What kind of question is that? Maybe she's still alive. It's just a leg. She might not have even noticed it fell out. Like a tooth or something. We assumed so. You're a police officer, and you pulled up with like 15 other police officers. I know what it looks like, but no strip club tonight, Jack. Yeah, I know. People are dying. I'm here on official business. Unless... No, dude, we have to catch this crocodile before it kills again. Right. Yes, exactly. But what if it's at the strip club? Yo! So the girl that Theo was flirting with at the bar is having a funeral for her cousin. And since everyone thinks it was Jack's crocodile that ate the cousin, they are not very happy when he shows up. He keeps asking, are you okay and what's wrong when everybody doesn't want to talk to him? Dude, somebody died. What's going on? Why is everyone so sad? Hey, where's your cousin? The ugly one.
You need to get these kids out of the water. We've got a croc out here.
What kind of croc?
One that eats people.
Yeah, right.
Alright, man, why'd you even ask if you weren't gonna care what he said? He gave you the worst answer you could possibly hear while your kids are in the water, and you were still like, yeah, I don't care. But look, we know from earlier that, sure, this movie is violent, but they would never actually show a child getting murdered by a crocodile. No! I think the one thing that's gonna help me kill this thing is being super wasted. God, skewer him, man. So who are all these people anyway? You're way too creepy to have this many friends. Are these people you kidnapped or something? Basically just the really dumb, slow ones. One thing that really surprised me about this movie is how overwhelmingly positive all of the comments on YouTube are. This movie is super boring, the acting is really bad, there are long periods of seemingly pointless plot development, and yet the YouTube comments seem to love it. But they are pretty much exclusively all about how pretty the scenery in Thailand is, and not about the movie or the plot at all. So I guess that makes sense. Great movie, well filmed, nice locations. Beautiful filming. Never thought Thailand was so perfect a paradise. Thanks so much. Yeah, well, it's not that perfect if people keep getting eaten by alligators, is it? Great movie with beautiful scenery. Thanks. Do these people think that the director invented Thailand? Because he didn't. It's been around for a while and you can go there. So they find the croc and they kill it. It's honestly pretty unsatisfying. I don't know what I was expecting, for them to like pull off the mask of the alligator and it was the tax investigator all along. But I was hoping for some kind of closure as to like why this happened outside of two fishermen woke him up with a bomb. The ending of this movie is very somber. They're all just kind of traumatized on their little boat until Jack's sister asks Croc if the crocodile ate his leg. I forgot to mention, Croc only has one leg. I don't know if you've noticed that. And so you just assume, oh, he must be hunting the croc because the croc ate his leg. And Croc says, good. I was hoping this movie would end like an episode of The Big Bang Theory. Well, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hello, Greg. Well, guys, I've got some interesting content for you today, as usual. I found a very curious case that I would like your opinion on, but I don't want to give anything away just yet. I just want you to watch the first couple TikToks, and then I will sort of explain what's going on, okay? So this is the first TikTok I saw of this guy. His name is Dustin Tyler. It says, drink a bucket of bleach or date Selena Gomez again. Let's see what he says. So yeah, deeply personal thing to post on TikTok, I feel like. I didn't know who this guy is when I first saw this TikTok, so I was just very confused. I was like, did this guy date Selena Gomez? It says again. It's not just some guy speculating, like, I probably wouldn't like dating Selena Gomez, so yeah, I'll take the bleach. So then he made another video responding to this comment. It says, is he making fun of Bryce Hall, or... And I don't know what that's referring to. I don't know if Bryce Hall said that he liked Selena Gomez or dated her or something, but this just provides a little more insight into the relationship that this guy had with Selena Gomez.
Nah, I'm not making fun of Bryce Hall. Him and I are nothing alike. See, he has to make stories up that he was with Selena Gomez. Me, I actually was. And then I friend-zoned her, and then I broke her little heart.
Again, a very mean tone to the video, condescending to this person who is just genuinely asking a question, but gives a lot of insight into his alleged relationship with Selena Gomez.
And then I friend-zoned her, and then I broke her little heart.
I am curious about the details of the story though, because just the order of events is kind of weird to me, the way he laid it out. He says, I was with Selena Gomez, and then I friend-zoned her, and then I broke her little heart. He says that things happened in that order. Usually, you don't start dating someone and then friend-zone them. Usually when guys talk about getting friend-zoned, it's like they're talking to this girl, and then she reveals that she sees them as more like friends. This guy's saying, we were dating. They could have been dating for like 3 years, and then he turns to her and he's like, you know, I really see you like a sister. The best sister I ever had. So he says he dated her and then friend-zoned her and then broke her heart. So he like friend-zoned her, broke things off with her, and then he broke her heart. What did he do? I dated her, I friend-zoned her, and then I killed her hamster. Just straight up stepped on it. This was years later, by the way. Anyway, by now you're probably wondering, who the hell is this guy? Is this Justin Bieber? Because I know they dated. That's what I thought at first. I thought, is this what Justin Bieber looks like now? But no, this guy's name is Dustin Tyler. And I scrolled through his page to try to figure out who this guy is, and here's what I came up with. It's coming soon, but just like Oklahoma, mine is coming sooner. I'm just a late bloomer. Okay, so I didn't know who this guy was at first, but luckily there's a logo in the corner that says Victorious. Apparently this guy was a character on Victorious. At first I did think this was Andy Samberg from 2006, but he was a character, let's see, Victorious puppet guy. He was this guy. Robbie Shapiro is one of Tori's friends at Hollywood Arts, and he's got a few videos where he does sort of a glow up. He's like, this is what I used to look like back when I was on Victorious, and this is what I look like now. Don't I look so different? And then I was like, okay, this makes sense now. So this guy used to be on like an old Nickelodeon show, and so he was probably in with the Nick kids and the Disney kids, and so that's how he knew Selena Gomez, and that's how they dated, right? It all makes sense. However, after reading the comments on these TikToks, I came to discover that this guy, this man, is not the guy from Victorious. These are two different people. He's just straight up lying about everything. He's not that guy. He didn't date Selena Gomez. His page is full of lies. And to be honest, he's not lying very well, mind you, because the actual guy from Victorious, his name is Matt Bennett, and he has a TikTok account, and if you wanted to pretend to be him, you could at least make your name on TikTok Matt Bennett. I think that would make people believe you a lot more if you really wanted to trick people. But he didn't. He just he just kept his real name. Dustin Tyler. That's me. Please don't Google my name. So this dude's whole thing, apparently, is just like making shit up on TikTok and then hoping it goes viral because people are kind of like, whoa, you used to be the guy from Victorious? Or whoa, you used to date Selena Gomez? And now you'd rather kill yourself than date her again? That's crazy. It's also funny now that he says that he friend-zoned Selena Gomez, because that would imply that, like, they are now friends, you know? And this is a pretty fucked up thing to say about your friend. Date Selena Gomez again, dude? Oh, that's, disgusting, dude. That fucking, I hate that girl. I hate her. I would not touch her with a 10-foot pole. She's crazy. And she's my best friend. But again, it turns out that he did not friend-zone her at all. Maybe he stranger-zoned her. He friend-zoned her so hard that they don't even know each other. And never did. This is kind of interesting to me because this is sort of playing off an existing trend on TikTok where people will post like that they have some sort of past or current relationship with a celebrity, like my uncle is Tom Cruise, or like my grandma is Sandra Bullock. And like TikToks like these will go viral because people are just like weirdly obsessed with stuff like that. The comments are always like, holy shit, I didn't know Tom Cruise had a family. I'm not really sure why people are so surprised about it. I understand just being like, yeah, I never really thought about like what Tom Cruise's cousin would be like before. But then again, why would you? You know? Like, I can't imagine why you'd ever be in like a Mission Impossible movie wondering like, I wonder who the guy who plays this character's cousin is. What's that guy like? What's he up to? So I guess it's just surprising to like see him. But it's not really surprising to find out that he does have a cousin. I don't think we're all under the impression that, like, Chris Pratt just showed up out of, like, just came about through natural causes. If you just search on TikTok, I think famous relative check, lots of videos will come up about being related to Charli D'Amelio or Bob Saget. Okay, this guy is saying that his mom is Flo from Progressive. This is kind of like a popular thing on TikTok, and anytime like a big celebrity has some cousin post about them,
it goes viral. But the downside to blowing up in this fashion is that it's kind of hard to keep this momentum going, you know? Most people don't have multiple famous relatives, so you can't just keep posting about like having more famous relatives. I mean, I guess if your cousin was Justin Bieber, you could just sort of keep filming him at every like family get together. But you are kind of just limited to one famous person, which is where I think this guy Dustin Tyler has it all figured out, because he doesn't just pick one celebrity to be related to. He'll lie about being related to anybody in a multitude of ways. Now, I should say that in this dude's profile, it does say jokes/satire. So he is covering his bases just in case someone tries to like sue him for whatever that would be, lying, being weird. In case anybody tries to sue me for being a little bit strange, it's all jokes. Also, all of his TikToks about like dating famous women are about him friend zoning them. Or like him like dating them and being like, yeah, I dated like the most famous woman in the world. It was trash. Low-key, I'm a little bit out of her league. I mean, look at me, dude. I've got tattoos, and I live in a hallway. And he kind of tries to disguise it as sort of like self-deprecating, like, oh, what an idiot I am. I dated the most famous pop star in the world, and I was too good for her, and I broke her heart, ripped it to smithereens, and now I kind of regret it. Dope, I'm so stupid. Oopsie. If this is all of his content, then like his whole friend group must just be famous pop stars, right? If he's friend zoning all of these girls and they're just his friends now. Maybe this is the only way he knows how to make friends.
Put your back into it, tell us why, show us how. Look at where you came from, look at you now.
The caption for that one is, this is what I look like when I friend-zoned Ariana Grande. Okay, that one's not even trying to disguise it as like a self-deprecating joke. That one's just like, look at how ugly I was when I friend-zoned a literal pop music icon. And now look at how hot I am. I can't decide how I feel about this, because on one hand it's kind of creepy, but it also is kind of funny that he's just like pretending to be dating all of these famous people. I will say, very disrespectful to the guy from Victorious. The fact that he's using this guy's picture to be like his past ugly self and being like, but now don't worry guys, now I'm hot. I don't look like that ugly-ass dweeb anymore. And he's like showing a picture that's not even him, it's some other guy. And he's also kind of like lying about things that guy did too now. He just starts assigning all of this horrible shit to this guy that's not even him. Yeah, this is what I looked like back when I robbed that bank. Can you believe this is what I looked like back then? Damn, that was the same year I blew up that hospital too. Shit, I've really changed since then. My name is Matt Bennett, by the way, and I did all those things. People just walk away from those videos being like, wow, that guy who played that kid in Victorious is kind of an asshole. Also, one of the weirdest things about this is he also posts all of these TikToks on Instagram, and he's verified on Instagram, which seems very weird because literally all he does is pretend to be other people, and somehow that gets him verified. But he does, in fairness, also say jokes and satire in his Instagram description. So when Instagram verified him, what they're saying is, don't worry, guys, this really is the guy who pretends to be the guy from Victorious. If you're wondering if this guy really is who he says he is really the guy that pretends to date Selena Gomez. They do get a little bit creepier though. This one is like that sound that's like, back in the day, me and you, baby, we used to have fun. And it says, my mind when I bump into Ariana Grande when she's with her husband with like a emoji. Imagine this guy that Ariana Grande's never met before bumping into her in public with her husband. Remember me? It's like, I've never seen you before in my life. Oh, the fun we used to have. If he keeps making TikToks like these are only going to get progressively more and more creepy the more like life changes Ariana Grande goes through. The next one's like me following Ariana Grande's daughter home from elementary school to tell her about all the good times me and her mom had. Me in court while Ariana Grande's trying to file a restraining order against me.
And if you wonder if I hate you, I do.
Imagine Ariana Grande's husband like just randomly stumbling across this TikTok. What the fuck? I don't even know this guy. Imagine if he sees all the other TikToks and like believes them, because he doesn't know. Babe, who is this guy? And she's like, I have no idea. And he's like, bullshit. You're just saying that. You're lying to me. This guy friend zoned you. And now he hates me. And she's like, no, I literally have no idea who that guy is. He's lying. You obviously do know him. He was on Victorious. That guy was not on Victorious. You are so full of shit. He's verified on Instagram, babe.
fuck no.
Okay, that one just throws off the whole thing. I thought he wanted Ariana Grande back. And all the other TikToks, he's like, damn, I wish I never friend-zoned her. And now he's saying I would never date her again? How do you reconcile those two? Oh, I wish I didn't friend-zone Ariana Grande. I wish I killed her. These are getting a little creepy, kind of like bringing her husband into it. There's one comment under this TikTok that says, you're using her name a little too much, I think. And he commented under it, I'm obsessed with her. I'm not using her name too much. I'm obsessed with her. I think I'm using it an appropriate amount. How am I supposed to stop using her name if I can't stop thinking about her? How does that make any sense? Again, I get that this is all a bit, you know, it's all jokes and satire, but I do feel like he may be taking the bit a little bit too far and committing a little bit too hard to the bit now. He's gonna get arrested and be like, that video that I posted of me over Ariana Grande and her husband sleeping was a joke. I was making fun of someone who would do that. The knife in my hand was a goof. You wanna know the craziest thing about this? Is all this dude does is pretend to be other people and pretend to be related to other people. And he has 1.7 million followers on TikTok. You know John Legend? Like an actual famous person just started a TikTok. You know how many followers he has? He's got 1.6 million followers. He's got less followers than someone pretending to be related to somebody famous. Dustin Tyler has 4 times as many followers as the actual guy from Victorious. Matt Bennett has 400,000 followers, and a guy pretending to be him has 4 times more. It's like, how do you get more followers by making TikToks about being like related to somebody than you do by being that guy? He hasn't just pretended to date celebrities, he also has pretended to be Keanu Reeves' son.
People, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town.
And a lot of them have this kind of theme where like people and like potential girlfriends only like him because he's Keanu Reeves' son. And I just think it's kind of funny that in this fictional world where he can make up anything, he picks such a sad reality for himself. He picks these worlds where like he turned away the love of his life, Ariana Grande, and now he's bitter and he despises her husband. And he picks this world where Keanu Reeves is his dad, but like he can't really be sure if anyone actually likes him for him because everyone's just so obsessed with Keanu Reeves. He's turning his life into a tragedy. He's made a tragedy of himself. Also, I think it's kind of funny that in this scenario, it seems like the she that this video is talking about would be Ariana Grande. You know how Ariana Grande is obsessed with Keanu Reeves and that's a thing about her?
Screaming, crying.
Also, I want to know where he's making these TikToks. He's always either like in a hallway or in a storage closet. I feel like I'm way more interested than his life than like whatever fantasy land he's coming up with. I feel like he's making these at work. Whatever job this guy works, I must be the most boring job in the world. I get daydreaming about like dating Ariana Grande or like having a famous parent, but then like daydreaming and fantasizing about like dating Selena Gomez, but it was trash. It's like you've gone through everything else there is to daydream about. And now all you have to daydream about is like, what if people only liked me because my dad was in the Matrix? Anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this creepy or normal? Is this creepy behavior or is this all in good fun? And it's just kind of like a silly guy being goofy and wacky. Let me know. Anyway, thank you so much to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. Guys, live events are back and you're gonna be going back to them in style. You wanna know why? Because thanks to SeatGeek, you can save $20 using my code GREG on SeatGeek. If you don't know what SeatGeek is, it's basically an app for your butt. And what I mean by that is it helps get your butt in some dope-ass seat. SeatGeek is a ticketing app. It helps you get tickets in the easiest way possible. I've got the app on my phone. I've used it to get tickets to a variety of shows in the past, and I really like how it tells you whether or not you're getting a good deal on tickets. It basically color codes the seats and the tickets so you know whether you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Green means good, red means stop. Whether it's concerts, baseball, basketball, football, etc., whatever you're into that has tickets, you can probably find it on SeatGeek. I personally am going to an Oliver Tree show in February, which I'm very excited about. Got the tickets on SeatGeek. It was super easy to do. And again, thanks to SeatGeek sponsoring this video, using the promo code GREG, you can get $20 off tickets from SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase if you use my code GREG, and make sure you click the link in the description to download the app. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out SeatGeek. Bye. This is Love on a Leash. I think it is the worst movie I have ever seen. Other movies I've watched on this channel have had their issues. Sure. They've had plot holes. They've had terrible pacing. They've had Noah Centineo. Yeah. But this movie, Love on a Leash, is just different. This movie fails in every possible category. This movie is bad at even being a movie. Look at the poster. You can probably tell what the movie is about just by looking at the poster. And yes, it is as bad as you think. This movie came out in 2011. It is about a woman falling in love with a dog. It's sort of like Beauty and the Beast. And you'd think, oh, it's not a beast, it's just a dog. So maybe he won't be as bad as the Beast. No, he's way worse than the Beast. You're gonna hate this dog by the time the movie is over. This movie has a lot of not great themes, so please be cautious while watching this movie. It's nothing like graphic. I'm not gonna show anything that would be like rated R, but just beware. Now, if you think I'm over exaggerating about how bad this movie is, let's just take the intro, for example, because this movie starts with utter silence. We get this opening montage with no music, no sound, just dog. And it lasts for a cool 1 minute and 12 seconds before we get any sort of dialogue, and that is because this movie has no soundtrack. And you might be thinking like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. Kind of like an avant-garde choice to intentionally make a film with no music throughout. And I don't think it was intentional, because there's definitely spots where there's supposed to be music. Also, in the opening credits, there is a composer credited. Wait, the composer's name is Peter Davison? Skeet! Can this motherfucker keep his hands out of anything? Try not ruining one movie, Pete Davidson. Okay, just kidding, but seriously, why is there a composer credited? Did they have a soundtrack composed for this movie and then just forget to put it in? Did Peter Davison take their money and then ghost them? And then putting him in the credits is like a slight dig at him? Oh yeah, you like the soundtrack in this movie? You like the ambiance that it adds? Thanks so much. Peter Davison did it. If you have a movie and you want to hire someone who you will pay thousands of dollars to only for them to run off to Greece with your wife, then hire Peter Davison. But enough talking about the soundtrack, because there is none. It's time to meet our protagonist, a horny dog named Alvin Flang.
Where are the ladies at?
Gross. In this opening montage, we see Alvin walking around the park a little bit, supposedly looking for girls.
Oh, here is one.
Being homophobic.
Hey, lay off, man. I'm not gay.
And then getting rejected by a girl.
Ugh, that's messed up. It's because I'm a dog, isn't it?
That she doesn't want to fuck you? Yeah, dude, I think it's because you're a dog. While recovering from this brutal rejection, Alvin goes over to a pond to sulk, and the pond starts talking to him.
Come back. Find a girl.
Girl?
If she only loves you, you may have a chance.
Find a girl? That's my specialty.
So as you might have noticed, this movie starts off with zero context whatsoever. We don't know who the fuck this dog is. We don't know why he has a human brain. We don't know where Peter Davison is and when he's gonna send over the finalized soundtrack for the movie. And the director just assumes that we, as the audience, have enough info to go off of to be on the dog's side here. Okay, first off, tell us why he's a dog. I'm not gonna root for this guy unless you tell me why he's cursed to be in a dog's body. There's obviously a reason, and I'm not just gonna start rooting for a horny, homophobic dog for no reason. But I guess I'm just kind of special like that. And you might think, oh, they're probably about to explain it, right? But no. It's like halfway into the movie before they finally tell you what the fuck is up with this dog and why he's a dog. Anyway, so now he's off to find a girl that's in love with him. And first off, can I just say, this movie came out in 2011, and they definitely had better cameras than this in 2011. This movie was clearly made on like a shoestring budget. This movie gives off the vibe that like all the actors are just the director's friend. This dog is just the director's dog. The dog is clearly not like a professionally trained dog actor. The dog just kind of does whatever, and then they add in human voiceover over it to kind of explain what the dog is thinking, which 9 times out of 10 does not match up with what the dog is doing. Okay, so he's on his quest. The pond has given him a mission. He can maybe change into a human if he finds a girl. This is the main mission of the movie. He's gotta find a girl and get her to fall in love. Just one quick question. How is he supposed to do that?
That's gross. And even if he does somehow find a girl that's into dogs, do you have any idea how pissed off she's gonna be when he turns from a dog into a human? She's gonna be so mad. Anyway, he finds this girl named Lisa and he decides to get her attention by making himself look all dirty and beaten up, and she ends up taking him into her home. Lisa is introduced as kind of a traditional girl. She has a friend who's always trying to get attention from guys, and it doesn't matter what kind of guy she gets attention from. She's always going out and partying, but Lisa is different. Lisa is waiting for the right man to come along and sweep her off her feet. And this summer, the right man just might be a fucking dog. Next, we get to see Lisa at work. She works at a department store and she's helping this woman try on a dress.
Ma'am, I told you that dress was too small for you. No, it's because I'm sweaty.
Why do I feel like those sound effects weren't in the script? Why do I feel like the script didn't say woman tries on dress and farts in the camera? I feel like that wasn't written in. I feel like the actor didn't know that was gonna happen. Seems very mean. Seems especially mean when you remember that the person who edited the sound in this movie literally didn't do anything else. He didn't add in music, that's for sure. He was just like, this woman's big butt makes fart noises, and then he went home.
Miss, I'm sorry. This dress is too tight for you. I can't sell it to you.
What? Okay, I feel like they want to make Lisa seem like the reasonable one here. Like the lady is being totally unreasonable. But this is kind of fucked up, right? To be like, no, I can't sell you this dress. Sorry. It doesn't fit you and it never will. So, sorry, maybe lose a few pounds before you come back into my store.
How about being my roommate? Huh?
Okay, you pay the rent and I'll sniff my butt.
Okay, wait. Is Alvin Flang a human trapped in a dog's body? Or is he just a dog? Because that was a very dog thing to say. They haven't explained anything yet. So in the lore of this movie, like, is this just how all dogs are? All dogs have these, like, human internal monologues and want to turn into humans so they can have romantic relationships with humans? Or is he a human trapped in a dog's body who just happens to like sniffing his butt? From there, Alvin and Lisa start to share some very fond memories. Like Lisa trying to name him Prince and him insisting that his name is Alvin Flang.
My name is Alvin Flang.
Well, okay, maybe something with a little more class.
Like Alvin Flang.
And Lisa joking that he should buy her a dress and him saying that he'd rather kill himself.
I can't afford it. Unless you're buying.
I'd rather kill myself.
What's funny about that line is that the thing that would make him want to kill himself isn't being cursed to live your entire life as a human trapped in a dog's body. It's buying a dress for a pretty girl. Over the course of the movie, there are a few other men that pursue Lisa romantically. There's Kyle, who she works with, and there's Frank, who kind of stalks her while she works. And because Lisa's having a hard time finding a husband, she decides, you know what, I'll go on a date with these guys. So she goes on a date with Frank, and on their first date, he ends up bringing his mom, who just grills her the entire time.
Lisa, my grandson is only 10 years old, and we're very anxious to find a stepmother for him. This child has been raised using the latest scientific technology in nutrition, education, and psychology.
What does that mean? This child was raised by robots. He needs another human in his life. He is cold, hollow, and violent. He needs to learn love.